after a long rest inside of the cave mines that is on the outside of the dungeon, because, that makes total sense, approached by a newcomer, come to claim the head of a fallen Darren Iskandaroon, learning of the mishappenings that's been going on in this dungeon, and finding that these guys are probably too fucking stupid to do all the evil shit that's been going on in the town. Along the way, clearing out the last of the dungeon, finding a shadow-felling creature, pissing the fuck out of it, and proving that Volmer is indeed a rogue without being a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Clearing out the dungeon and finding themselves rather satisfied, for better or worse, with what information they have. Coming out, Sibo's friend, sister, lover, who knows who she was, came to report that he is needed back home to clear his name of some sort of issue, that this Negazebo has been spreading some ill worse to his name. Being pointed towards the city of Bulunzar, which is the place that he is most commonly spotted at. The party has been told that the entire city is asleep because no one thinks you guys are still alive after being 10 hours in this goddamn cave. Because who the fuck would be at this point? And with that, Sibo and his female companion took off, with her berating him along the entire way. As you
Where
guys
did she say that the imposter was again?
She did not say who he was, just said that it was someone who has claimed his
where he was.
visage,
It's
and
in
it's just basically spreading Sibo's name in a bad way.
Reading the summary now, it says that he's in Ulanzar, a town to the south.
Yeah, the place that he is most commonly spotted at. So it's like, well, I got nothing else to go off of, so I'm going to tell you this. He's probably there.
Hmm. Well.
So what is the plan?
Shall we leave without telling anyone?
Sounds good to me.
Sucks that we won't finally be able to sleep in a bed, but...
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yes, it's not a good idea, but still wish we could.
Agreed.
No, what I mean is, it's not a good idea to just leave like bandits in the night after this. We have to tell someone.
Do we?
If we present what we've done here to the town, I'm sure they'll be thankful for us. We won't have to go around like brigands.
So like we have about a 50-50 chance of being attacked before we get a chance to explain ourselves, or being able to explain ourselves. Not a chance.
They sent me to deal with this. I'll talk to them.
I like that idea.
Worth a shot. Wait, I forget. Did we bring the body with us? Do we actually have Darren's body?
You guys just ditched it on the outside, just outside the fortress. You guys never did a damn thing with it besides loot it.
Well, we haven't gone anywhere, to be fair.
It's still in the cave.
Yeah.
In front of the thing.
It's just laying there on the ground.
Decomposing.
Pockets turned inside out.
Iskandarin will actually indicate the body and say, with this, we can prove that the person who killed the foreman is dead, and that he's not aligned with you. He was a warlock, if I remember correctly. We could just say that he bewitched the rest of you.
Yes, slandering my deceased friend. That's what I was told doing today.
Upwelling of dark energy. And we can explain that.
Oh, and he's gone.
And he's dead.
We don't even need that elaborate of a ruse. Just the one responsible is no longer living. Here he is. That should do.
Yeah.
Gonna do a quick refresh. There he is. Let's refresh.
Refresh then. Connect.
Alright, it's already started.
It has already begun. The tech issues.
Alright, what was the last thing you heard?
It is Spooperween after all.
Poopy wee.
What was the last
God
thing
damn,
you
you
heard?
guys
me say?
Oh my god.
There we go. Darren as a patsy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, slandering my deceased friend. That's exactly what I was looking forward
Basically,
to
in
doing.
summation, since I got cut off, what I mean to convey to you plan-wise is that we pin the murder and the skullduggery on Darren and the gnome, and we prop ourselves up as heroes for taking care of all the darkness and the dark pillar and all that shit.
I would not want to implicate the gnome, but we do not need this elaborate ruse of being bewitched. We can simply tell them that this is the man responsible for the murder. The darkness, we don't know who caused that, but we dealt with it. And let that be the end of it. No deception, no deceit, nothing.
Gotta love the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
That is acceptable.
Never heard of it. I love it.
You've not heard that before?
I've never heard that.
heard the kiss method.
I haven't either.
That was a first for even me, dude. I've known you for how long?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something I say often, but it is. Oh yeah, I think I got that from online
Yeah.
So,
researching certain topics. The KISS method is
Oh my.
common.
so what is the plan? And or what are you guys doing?
So,
We're, as far as I can tell, gathering the body when we get there, or Iskandarum is going to simply tell them this is the one responsible for the murder. We don't know what caused the darkness. It is dealt with, though. I think that's where we were.
yeah.
Yeah. My concern with that is based on like what Iskandaruan's heard. Like you came in with them while he killed them, so it's probably going to be hard to like disconnect you from him.
Oh, the person who's gonna talk to the town and
That's
explain
fine.
to them that we're not criminals is fucking dead, it seems, so.
Alright?
It's fine that we came in with him. The fact of the matter remains that he did not come out of here alive. We could also say that we dealt with him after he murdered someone in cold blood. Because we did not see eye to eye with that.
Very well. Alright, so I think we're just
I was more out of character.
we're
making
chilling
the
out
joke that
until
Fulbright is
morning,
fucking
and then we can
dead.
go into town and explain this.
Yeah.
Who is carrying the body?
Delmar will assist carrying the body.
Let's say, who has the highest strength?
I'll bring it in.
It's Gandaru, bar none. There's no question there.
Y'all weren't gonna like my method.
Shit. Right.
Wait, what's this Skandarin strength? I'm actually curious now.
He's got
16?
some muscle on him. You like actually like see beneath his clothing. There's actually some genuine muscle there.
He's a big guy.
I was just gonna wrap him up in a rope and drag his ass, but okay.
Certain exalted.
It's on you guys. You guys want to carry him? You want to drag him? What do
Yep.
you guys want to do?
Let's carry
I'll
the
carry him
body.
in. I mean, I'm the guy that was sent up to deal with it. I'm the guy who's going to be explaining everything. So it makes sense for me to be the guy that carries him in.
If Iskandarin needs help, Delmar will offer assistance in
I
carrying
mean,
the
I
body.
do not. I'm pretty sure, like, especially if you strip all his gear off.
He's more than enough. It's a dead body of a pretty lanky drow. Pretty easy.
Fair.
With 16.
I mean, Iskandarin can bench 450. He doesn't need any
He's
help.
literally twice my size.
Alright. So come morning, I'm gonna carry him in. And before I talk to the people in town, because I know I have a certain weakness in this, I'm going to actually use enhance ability like Eagle Splendor to give me advantage on charisma checks for an hour.
Is it Eagle's Splendor? I thought it was that another one. I think Eagle's Perception, isn't it?
No, it's.
I don't,
Eagle's
it's
Splendor.
gonna work. I'm telling you, I thought it,
I
I didn't
have
think
the
it was
spell
Eagle's
right
Splendor.
here. Could
Is
probably.
it Eagle's Splendor?
It's,
What are you talking about?
Eagle Splendor. Bear's
Enhance
Endurance.
ability, it essentially ties like an animal feature to you, and it gives you advantage on certain checks.
Based on the.
But they
Yeah.
have names for all of them, and I didn't think Eagle's Splendor was
Yeah.
charisma.
That is the one. It's Eagle Splendor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owl's wisdom
Cat's
is.
God, it
grace
is.
dex.
Bear's Endurance, Bull's Strength, Cat's Grace, Eagle's Splendor, Fox's Cunning, and Owl's Wisdom.
Eagle's
are the sub spells.
Splendor.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Why is
Yeah,
that weird?
what a choice for charisma.
Are eagles not
Right.
splendors to you?
No.
Those fuckers can peck your eyes out. They are not charismatic at all.
I don't understand what you mean by that. I mean, they feature prominently on the flags of many nations. They're
America.
often symbolized
That's
as
why.
symbols
America.
Yeah,
of
America.
glory and strength. I don't see why they're not splendor if it's different. It's enough to be the charisma one.
regardless.
All right. What would be the charisma one then? Like, capybara? Is that the one?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I would accept a capybara.
Yeah.
Those little fluffy fuckers are so nice.
Oh no. What's the fucking like mom animal in like Australia and shit?
Koala,
No, not koalas.
Kangaskhan.
Oh fuck, I can't remember what they are, but like they always look like they're happy to see you. Fuck, I can't remember what it is.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
I
Yeah.
don't think that
Regardless.
exists in Australia.
Yeah, dude, Australia's a weird place.
Yeah.
There's just walking Pokemon around.
might be a
You
capybara.
wouldn't be surprised. Regardless.
It's the real life Feywild.
What
Oh.
exactly are you taking?
It is a capybara. Never mind.
Oh, it is capybara.
Okay. Yeah.
So where are you taking Darren's body? To like the guardhouse?
I'm
City
just going to
Hall?
like the town square. I'm going to announce this to everyone.
Okay, well it's the middle of the fucking night right now.
Well, not in the
Yeah,
middle
like,
of the
where
night.
do we
like,
take-
We're
we're
gonna
in the
wait
middle-
until
okay.
morning.
I just say it's the middle of the night. We're not known for like being with a murderer right now, and we're walking through the middle of town carrying his corpse.
Yeah. And
Is this
Let's-
the best idea?
Let's get out of the cave and take a short rest till sunrise.
That's probably the best plan.
Okay. So is that what you guys are gonna do? Sit outside the cave and wait till sunrise?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Are there any like once we get out of the cave? Are there any guards around patrolling?
Once
Yeah,
you
we
start getting closer towards the outside of the cave, go ahead and make perception checks for anyone who wants to see.
Like,
Sure.
fucking Dalmar.
Yeah.
Your
That's
perception.
Delmar's one good roll of the day. He spent it right
can
there.
folk hear us but not talk?
Oh, you got expertise in that shit, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, how the fuck are you matching me?
One more, what'd you say?
Can the scanner room hear us but not talk?
Oh, are you not hearing him?
I can't hear him at all.
Refresh.
Oh, refresh yourself.
Oh, okay, it's working. I was so confused for a while.
Yeah,
No.
if you're not hearing him, or if like you don't see someone, a good quick solution is just refresh your little image real quick.
I assumed his internet was just still bugging out. Okay, I'm just stupid.
No. We were chit chatting a little bit.
So we explain. So just to catch you up, we explained that we're gonna wait till morning to bring the body down, and we're
Yeah.
right now we're checking the entrance to the cave to see if anyone's hanging out. I guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could hear everyone but you.
Yeah, I figured as much because he was responding every once in a while.
I was so
Regardless.
confused when we were bringing up the evil thing. I was like, who's talking about that?
As you guys are making your way out, and everyone except for Iskandaroon, not really used to nighttime visions like this, never really the kind of guy that's always on the lookout for not being caught with a dead body. You don't get the read that the others get, where they do see the occasional torchlight just kind of drifting ever so slightly in the town itself. And Zalmar and Volmer would notice that these patrols are mostly clustered in towards the town itself, but there is one that does seem to be a little bit more far off that gets closer to the cave than most. Doesn't come that close, but possibly within line of sight if the sun starts to rise early enough.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Try to
point
find
my
a
guy out
place
this
that
and
breaks
keep
line of
moving.
sight.
Dalmar kind of starts to lead you guys a little bit away. Go ahead and make a nature or survival check, your choice. You can find a place that's cozy enough for you guys to get a decent rest outside of
Nature or survival?
your choice. Wisdom or intelligence.
I mean, they're both a raw +2, so whatever.
Okay, wasn't a high DC. It's cliffside. Mountainside. A couple minutes, there is a small patchy-esque area where stones are kind of jutting out just enough for you guys to kind of cover yourselves. At least wait out the rest of the night, getting yourselves your fair share of short rests. Not that you need it.
So as they're
Just
doing
hold
that,
up, counting as a long rest.
as they do that, Corvais is gonna just full on whistle to the guards as they
From your
start
little
heading
resting
off.
spot.
Huh? Oh no, they're heading off to a hiding spot, and Corvais is looking at the guards and just starts whistling.
It
Okay.
means to like direct them away from where we are. I assume that's what you mean, right, Corvais?
Vomir's gonna panic and try to hide.
I figured as much, as Dalmar has already done as well. It's really kind of like Dalmar just goes, "Hey, there's a spot over there."
Poof, gone.
Yep.
Dalmar,
See, Volmer, we'll make a rogue out of you yet.
Yeah, damn, dude.
One of these days, please take a level in rogue.
I'm not taking a level in rogue.
Come on, man. You're doing so good.
It's just because I'm a dex fighter.
So ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
well,
Totally
it fits
ridiculous. But
perfectly.
regardless,
Get sneak attack on that. Come on, man.
Scanderin, are you gonna go into stealth, or are you just gonna go make your way? What are you doing?
Scanderin makes no attempt to hide himself.
Huzzah!
Perez?
Stand right there.
Oh, you're standing with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just standing
So as
outside the cave.
Dalmar and Volmer book it to go hide. Corvais, as you let out your whistle, you and Iskander just stand there, proud and ready for whatever is coming for you. And you take notice, Corvais, you did pass a perception that torchlight that was getting closer immediately breaks rank. And even Iskander, you eventually notice that there are numerous torches that are now flickering in a more condensed area. For eventually, after about 5 or so minutes of gut-wrenching silence and nothingness, you see a group of about 15 or so torches making their way closer in front of the pack itself. As they get closer, illuminated by his scuffed plate mail armor, is a dragonborn of blue coloration, standing proud and tall with a shield on his back and a great maw at his arms.
So, before they come up, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion of a large piece of parchment that says peace in common
Okay.
in front of us.
Scanderin will, with the corpse slung over his left shoulder, he's gonna like hold up his right hand to show that he's not holding any weapons.
Okay.
Yep.
And you cast your enhance ability as well. 'Cause I believe it lasts a minute, so
It lasts an
An hour.
hour. Okay. And Corvais, I think yours lasts a minute, so every minute you kind of just go like.
Yep, just recast. Yep, until they're there.
As they begin to make their way up, and as you show a hand of peace, and you show a sign of peace, You watch as about 50 feet away, just enough where the light can hit you guys, and you can see the Dragonborn prominently, and the scarred face, scales missing, the armor's been through battles unknown, and several of the men seem like half of them are normal guards, while the other half are just common villagers that just put on some kind of patched up leather cladding of some kind that just has like these pitchforks or these machetes that they usually use for just normal work.
We were in this town for like 5 minutes before entering the cave, and we have an angry mob after us.
I feel like Frankenstein's monster over here.
As you watch the Dragonborn just place them onto the ground, leaving it to thud to echo into the night sky. What brings you from the cave, ne'er-do-wells?
I approach. I say, "My name is Iskandurin Fulbright. I was sent up here to investigate the murder that occurred, as well as the dark pillar that has erupted. When I came into the cave, I found that those who had traveled in with the half elf had killed him in retribution for his crime. Together, we plunged the depths of this ancient wizard's laboratory, and we have destroyed the source of the darkness."
Persuasion check with advantage from enhanced ability.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
I was about to say thank God for advantage.
There is
There's going to be a single clap. Okay.
there's a recognition in the Dragonborn's face. Almost as though he's heard of you. He's heard of the man that went to the cave after these people, but there's something about his tail that doesn't exactly sit right with him. As you see, just a minor crackle of electricity kind of comes out of his nostrils from him just snorting. Like, and you expect to come out with the perpetrator beside you, and the body of the drow who enacted the murder.
What do you mean, perpetrator?
He gives a hard glare in your direction.
I do not align myself with this piece of filth, and I'll kick the dead body.
No respect for the dead, damn.
0.
You come to our town with that piece of scum, and you expect me to believe you simply turn on an ally. What say you do not turn on him right now? Leave him for dead.
If he starts murdering innocents, yes. I will turn on him.
Make a perception check.
Not my strong suit. We're not the talkers of this group. Oh, that's
Yeah,
performance.
I have a talker.
Both are. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
At least your charisma's at a +0. Mine's at a -3.
This is already
Oh.
such a going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 5
I'm just
charisma,
gonna
y'all.
look at him and say, if it wasn't for us, that darkness would still be pouring out of the mountain. Simple as that. You had a murder happen in your place. We dealt with it. There's the perpetrator. Simple as that.
Make another persuasion check.
God damn it. Nope. Nope.
There's hard, just mental thought and recognition. And as the Dragonborn is thinking, you hear one of the men, the average village men, call out from the back. And what of the gnome? What'd you do with him?
That gnome you were looking at that we came in with was not the perpetrator at hand. We are still looking for the one who caused this. We have an idea of where he might be, and we're going to be heading that direction. to try to eliminate any more questionable acts. It's not someone we like running around posing as one of our friends. Someone's intentionally doing this to frame the gnome that we came in with, and we're gonna find out why. I can guarantee that.
There's a piercing silence.
I'm just staring at the Dragonborn the whole time I'm saying this, straight to the eye contact.
There's a point that he looks at a Scandaroon. Looks in intrigue. Looks back at you. He focuses back on a Scandaroon. We've seen your kind come past here before. Lone warriors looking to do what's right. But I must say that... Goddamn, Wilmer. I've never once seen one follow a law. Such shady individuals.
You mistake this man's character. Once this man was alone with the killer, he flew into such a rage that he killed him immediately with his own two hands. I'll show him the corpse. And I'll show him that, like, the big bruise on him.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Bet you don't know.
Yeah.
Roll above a 10. Come on.
That'd technically
roll
be
a 10.
deception. Oh,
Hey!
Jesus.
God, I love that
Yeah.
natural 20 still at 19. I love it.
You know, I probably shouldn't have hidden because I have a +1 to charisma.
See, you're
Yeah,
becoming
You're
you
probably
get
literally the
roguelike.
best person to do
Just
this.
take the
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Yell like a weirdo. Gotta stand proud.
I
On these
panicked
points.
and hid, okay?
That was a perfect Volmer reaction. I loved it.
I mean, it is.
Yeah. And it was also a perfect rogue reaction. Hey,
Yes,
I'm
yes
not
it
a
is.
fucking rogue.
You damn
I beg
pretty
to
much
differ,
are.
sir.
Volmir's just a nervous, like, wizard researcher guy. He's not a rogue.
Even better, you're an
Always
arcane
good
trickster
at
rogue.
You have
last
proven that you are
It's a
part rogue.
dex-based fighter. All you're missing is the sneak attack and proficiencies, yo. Come on, man.
Volmer, I'm sorry, but they figured out part of your backstory. We couldn't keep it hidden for that long.
Yep,
My father was a rogue and my mother was a wizard.
yep. It's perfect. You could have been an
Definitely
arcane
knew it.
trickster rogue.
Definitely knew it.
I'm not a fucking rogue, though.
Oh, you will be. Before this campaign's
You
over, we'll
watch.
take a level of
I'm
rogue.
not putting a level into rogue. I want to get some spell.
Alright. You watch as the Dragonborn struggles for quite a while in thought before he starts to approach. As he approaches, you see several of the men want to approach as well before he just raises a hand to make them stop. As he gets closer, Corbeus, more than anyone, you can see that he is not letting his guard down at all as he gets closer. He's very much prepared for you guys to try to attack him at any moment. As he kneels down really quickly and kind of looks at where Iskander pointed out the bruises of him impacting the ground and the punches to the face that he took. Kind of looks up at you before he stands tall and proud. And at this point, now being right up against him, he stands a good 8 feet tall. So he's got height on both of you. As he looks down at the two of you, he goes, "We will keep this. And perhaps you see to it you don't cause any more trouble in my town."
We will trouble you no longer, Honorable Daristrix.
He looks at Corveus for a response.
Yeah. You won't have to worry about trouble from us, but you should show a little bit more respect for the people who helped rid this darkness from your town.
I need not show respect to those who begun it as well.
We did not begin it. And I would like you not to slander our names.
Then it's a good thing I don't know it now, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is.
You watch as he, with one hand, just kind of scoops up Darren's body, and with swift ease, he just hulks him onto this to his shoulder. And he turns around, just giving a hard glare at the two of you. Before he raises his maw into the air with one hand, he goes, "Tonight, we give thanks, and we let Corville pass on." And while there's a lot of uneasy grumbling and disapproving murmurs around from the people, you watch as the Dragonborn just starts to walk his way through. And while a lot of eyes stay glued on you guys, slowly but surely, one by one, that little group of would-be soldiers and guards start to maneuver themselves back towards the town. Several of them continue to keep an eye back, just are they doing anything? Are they doing anything?
I'm gonna create a
Until
giant
eventually-
fist middle finger.
As you're eventually left with no light in the middle of the night sky. And it is a moment that you can actually now properly recognize. That as you kind of look up, almost like in a breath of relaxation, that you can see the dotting stars. And that was something that you, Iskander, when you came about here, did not see that when you first approached. Telling you that whatever darkness was there, it's gone.
Well, glad that worked out. Dalmar? Fulmer? Did they leave?
You just look back to where the hiding spot is, since you guys knew where the hiding spot was, and you just see them both huddled together in a little bit of a heated argument with one another. You can't hear what they're saying, but you just see them talking back and forth
Also, Volmir's falling over. It looks like he was scared recently.
yeah.
I was hoping Volmer would squeal or something.
Yeah, probably.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, con save? Okay, I wanted to ask what I would roll for that, but I didn't want to interrupt.
That's good.
I'm not scared.
You're fine. You had a bit of a jump, and you kind of lean back a little bit on one hand to keep yourself from actually falling over, but you keep that squeal within you.
Well, that went well.
Good job.
Dragonborn's kind of a dick. Now we don't have to waste time waiting for dawn.
Well, maybe I was getting my armor
Alright.
fixed before we leave. Or left.
Who's on the what now?
Armor damage from the slime. Next time we get to, I was hoping to fix it.
Yeah.
It would be best if we did that before we left.
I don't
need
think so.
some transportation if we're gonna make up time as well.
We could always walk, but
Would they even be willing to sell to us?
probably not. And if
We'll
they
see.
will, they're gonna mark up the price excessively. In their eyes, we're nothing but a bunch of murderers and rabble-rousers.
I'm not too concerned about the price right now. If we're going to catch up to them, we can't be plodding along by foot.
Well, we aren't exactly made of money.
Well, we should have enough for... Well, let me make no assumptions. How much gold do you have?
I have 105 gold pieces on me.
Iskander's eyes will kind of bulge a bit, and he'll be like, well, then we should have no issue finding that small cart for us to take us there.
Yes. Do you plan to pull this cart?
We'll get horses as well.
Horses are not cheap.
We don't get enough to sell
Iskander
horses
will
or
kind of
cows
laugh
here.
to himself for a bit and say, maybe if we were operating on salaries of silvers,
Huh?
ADM, do they even
What I'm
sell horses and
indicating
carts
is
here?
that horses and carts don't actually cost that much, and we can get some and go.
What were you saying, Volmer?
But to answer your question, Volmer, you have not seen any stables or craftsmen here at all so far. Then again, you haven't really explored the town. Also, to be fair,
Didn't we just like tear one like
at
bloody
least on
path
your way
through
through,
it?
you haven't seen those.
Yeah.
There's probably somewhere you can get horses.
Yeah, and they're fucking 75 gold a piece.
Yeah,
Not.
that's about, I'm
You're
actually
talking
trying
about like.
to check out the
You're
price
talking
for
about the
that.
super good horses. You can get just.
A typical
Shitty ones.
riding horse is 75 fucking gold.
Typical riding horse. is
That's
25.
right. That's for like
Yeah.
fast horseback riding, for like delivering messages.
What do
and
you
shit.
want? One that's
Something like
fucking
that.
80 years old? And gonna die to the rock in like a day?
Look, all I'm saying is we shouldn't be
Let's
getting
see, the
top
rock
quality
comes
horses.
and selling it
In
a
all
day anyway.
likelihood, they're just gonna be eaten by the rock. All right.
At this point in time, these people fucking hate us, so if they do have horses to sell, they're gonna double that fucking price. If sell it to us at
now
all.
that
Yeah, but
a certain
the
gnome
alternative
with
is like just
us,
walking all the way to the next town and letting that gnome imposter do whatever they want.
I mean, we can try and ask.
What was it, Delmar?
our pace won't be slowed
Was that
because
Delmar?
Sibo's not with us.
You're not
What's our
totally
com-
wrong. You're
What's
not
our
losing that
combined-
5
what's
extra
your
feet per
combined
second
gold
now.
total out of curiosity? I know I have 105.
And I've already got one horse stowed somewhere around here.
What was that, woman?
What's our combined gold total? Like, how much do we have?
I got like 10.
I have 115.
You got like 400 some total. Rough estimate.
Corvez, how much do you have? I have a calculator open right now, and I'm actually about to do the math.
I have 20 gold.
We have 250. We would need 2 horses, because from before we had a cart with 2 horses.
So we'd only need one.
We'd only need 1. Okay, so that's 75 minimum. What's a cart?
Yeah.
Which is-
Gander says yes.
I'm pretty sure there's cheaper horses. I'm gonna look through the equipment list.
I'm 90% sure riding horse is the cheapest one.
No,
Or-
you can.
No,
we can't
there's-
get a. We
there's
can't
a
get a
draft
draft
horse.
horse, but that moves 20 feet slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So if we
So
those
for
are
70,000
dashers.
you get
They're
a
not
draft
sprinters.
horse.
They're dashers.
just riding horse,
fucking Clydesdale.
5 plus 15. That's gonna cost us 90 gold minimum. And that's assuming they don't hike up the prices.
The funny thing is, I'm faster than that fucking draft horse.
The wagon's only 35 gold.
Oh, we're getting a wagon, not a cart. Okay, 1 sec. That changes things.
We're doing accounting 101 right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
This
That's
is the
cool.
D&D
This is where I'm running
experience
my
we've
math
come
now.
for.
Yep. Finances.
Cart, chariot.
Oh my god. This
Wagon
is
person.
not what I expected to be doing for the first 30 minutes.
That's 110
So-
gold total.
DM, I just went through my character sheet in equipment and equipped the goggles that Sibo gave me, and I'm also gonna just keep them on.
Yep, I figured as much.
Well then, this is gonna cost us a bit.
Does anyone have a belt pouch?
I like to imagine like Volmir just pulled an abacus out of nowhere and like started like doing math
Yes.
on his paper.
He waves some sigils and just a magical abacus appears. It's just start doing the math right then and there.
Yeah, like
That's
he
one of your
starts
cantrips?
using, like,
Abacus?
something abacus, and like he pulled out a ink and quill and like paper, and like he started.
Dalmar's gonna go up to the abacus and just like, what does this do? Bop, 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 bop.
So, what is the plan, you guys?
I guess that's
We're gonna go into town and see if we can rustle up some horses and in a wagon.
yeah.
Keep-
See if there's
One
a
horse
stable
and a
Okay,
wagon.
well,
or
first
a
off, it is
wagon.
still the dead of the night.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it still is.
It is still the dead of the night, so
Let's rather than going to the inn, let's camp.
That's gonna be loud.
Why camp?
Because
close
they
is-
don't like us, and our prices are probably already going to be hiked
Well,
up.
if they don't like us already, then won't sitting out and camping like weirdos make them even more suspicious to us?
Yes, but as opposed to...
I think if we're gonna like move towards like trying to get stuff from them, we should like normalize our being there a little bit first.
Okay, if you say so.
How close is the nearest town?
We're in a town.
The nearest town past this one?
Yeah.
The nearest town past this one?
Yeah, if there's a different town like
Give
really
me a
close,
perception check, just in case you might have seen this along the way. Retroactive perception.
Since
Can all of us do
I'd
that?
like to explain some things. So I have a familiar. It hasn't come up yet, but I have an owl familiar that I've just been like mapping out the local area with. So if there's a town within the vicinity, I think I should know about it.
It doesn't have to be within a mile of you to actually contact you. It can go as far as it wants. I know that for a fact, but I think it has to be within a mile to actually like tell you.
I think so.
Well, it can go out and then it can tell me because it's intelligent.
I know, but well, that's what I'm saying is that it has to go out and then come back at some point. So until it comes back is when you get that info.
No, what I mean is like.
And you can't do anything but wait until it comes
that.
back, because once it leaves a mile, you literally can't talk to it.
Yeah, but what I mean is like I'd have been doing this already, as just traveling around. Since I'm a cartographer, I map out the land that I go through.
I would make a joke that everything about your character seems to go towards cartography, but I'm built entirely towards swords.
I mean, it's just a proficiency in a spell.
It's okay.
The
I'm the
only
ranged
other
melee.
nearest town. The only other nearest town to there is partially northbound, which is away from the destination you are looking at. Actually, probably should just.
Okay.
You're there. The nearest town is. Oh fuck, that's way too big. Fuck it, I'll just do a paintbrush. Right there.
So we're in Bill.
That is the nearest
The
town.
town is in the opposite direction.
We're at the
And
X
it's
mark.
not that much closer than the place we're trying to go on.
You're at the X. No, you guys are at the X.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
at the X? I thought Bill
You guys
was
are at the X. Yes.
I thought the Bill was the town that we were near right now.
No.
No.
So
You
No.
were going towards
Bill.
Bill at first before this Forge of Darkness happened.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
That was
And this
where-
Forge of
this town-
Darkness gave you a detour.
That's where we had the job to turn in the snake stuff.
What's this town though?
And now literally have nobody to solidify that you had this job.
Yep.
That's the ship of Theseus right there. coming
Yep.
in. But
So,
Literally, every single money-making opportunity is now gone.
yep.
We'll find more.
So the town that we were told by the gnome, how close? Like, where is that at?
that's the one that's in the Grand Duchy.
That is Bulin's.
Forzar.
That is.
Okay, so that's way down
Down
there.
Yeah.
So essentially, how far would it be to go north to that next town? Roughly about a day.
Half a day if you push yourselves.
How long
Okay, I
would it
think
go?
that's a really good plan then, because we can
How-
just get them.
Close is Bill. That, so if
it's
that's
either
half a
full
day,
of just casual travel, or half a day if you guys just fucking book it.
What about Bill? What's the difference between with that?
that'd be about what?
That's a day and a half, give or take. Again, casual travel or a full stay.
I think we
booking it.
We
like a
we
fucking
go to the town
bastard.
to the north. We try to get together another horse and a wagon, and then we can just book it to Bulinzar once her speed's multiplied by that wagon.
I don't think it's gonna speed us up really at all at this point in time. I'd say we just walk to Bill.
Well,
It's
let me see about this. So if we're doing riding horses, so
I mean,
the slowest in the party is 30 feet. If we're gonna extrapolate, so the riding horse would be twice as fast movement
Oh
wise.
god, we're giants.
We'd only be losing a day for doing it. Half a day if we run. So it would be way more efficient if we went up and got the wagon going.
But that's also if they have
Wagons now,
horses.
bridge.
They may not have horses.
Well, what's that town like? Do we know anything about that town?
Go ahead and make a perception check for your owl, because you would have passed that technically with your owl.
Alright, I should have brought up the
Some of your
owl
familiar
stat block
stats.
really
Oh, there
quick.
goes my joke. You.
Yep.
I was gonna
What?
say, oh god, Volmir's stuck in the middle of the ocean.
Oh.
While everyone's doing math for the speed of
important
travel.
game dictating logistics going on.
I like to imagine all of our characters are sitting in a circle right now with like we have pieces of paper and we're like doing the math.
Yeah, we got the parchment.
I mean, at this point, you kind of are. The Scander's probably got like a crude outline map, and he's probably just like pointing to places, and so is Corvais, and like you guys are just kind of like arguing a lot.
It would be
13.
+3 for the owl.
So 14, you can't roll any owl stats.
I don't know how to like in roll 20 like act as if I'm the owl, but it has perception +3, and it has a wisdom of. How do monster skills work exactly?
If it's normally it's just his stats. So say perception is wisdom, it will just do wisdom. But
so it
if
has
it says
12
it has,
wisdom and
that's what I'm
it
saying,
says
but
under
if it-
skills,
but
perception
if it has a
+3.
skill, it gets that skill plus instead. So it has a plus
Alright,
3.
so it would be +3. And it's got advantage, actually, because it has keen hearing and sight.
Oh, it's 'cause it's an owl.
Yeah. It's almost as if owls can see well.
Oh, just a
15.
little bit
So
better.
15.
15. But what you would get from your little travels past here, that small town, while you had to mostly avoid it for the most part to get to here, to your destination as quick as possible, you didn't see any full-bred horses. You saw the occasional mule and donkey that's being used to haul equipment and such, but no genuinely bred horses to actually work for travel. They're more just for labor.
Alright, well, since, I'd say since Bill is on the way anyway, I mean, that's where the road is. So, if we're not going to be going through this is like all craggy rock, right?
Most of it, yeah. Majority is.
So, we're going to need to, like, go on the road anyway, and that road will take us to Bill. So we can go to Bill, and we can get a cart for the rest of the way.
That's what I've been saying.
To Bill we go.
Alright, let's go. Hop up and I'm gonna start walking.
Alright, I'm going to go fish out my horse from wherever I left it.
Yep.
And get going.
Alright, so are you guys doing a casual walk, or are you all fucking booking it?
We are politely hurrying out of here.
So, for the first, like, maybe half mile, normal, casual, then booking it. Get out of sight of the town, you know? So it doesn't look like we're running away from them, and then booking it.
Are you guys following along with that? Iskander has no issues, or only
Yeah.
a little bit of issue just because his horse makes it very easy.
Yeah.
But Dalmar and Volmar, are you guys?
South, don't we?
I'll just do what they're doing because I don't know much about how travel works.
Iskander is like a bit impatient to get there, but he'll go along with it in the interest.
If you're just doing casual, you're not risking exhaustion. But if you're booking it, you're risking exhaustion.
I think for the purposes of like getting there, we're booking it, but for the purposes of not looking like assholes running away from the town, we're not. So
Yeah, that's what
basically,
Corvais is saying. He's saying that like for the first half a mile or so, until you guys are out of
We're-
sight, you're like, dude.
we're going out of sight, casual, and then we're booking it and rolling exhaustion checks.
Literally what Corvais is saying. That's why I'm asking if Volmar and Dalmar are doing that, or
Okay,
you guys are
just-
doing that.
I'll go with the group. Although
Hey, exhaustion isn't that bad. It's not like it's killed anyone before. Right?
So, now, when we're booking it, is it double speed or speed and a half?
Double.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're essentially dashing this entire fucking time. Which is where I'm gonna need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
So we're
Except
totally
for
doing a two
Scanders,
towers
you're riding a
montage
horse.
here.
so I do want to say, like, for me, it's like dash, normal, dash, normal,
Yeah.
dash, normal to keep pace
So,
with
so
these
your
guys.
DC's lower. Yeah. trust
Okay.
me, I'm keeping count of that. Your DC's lower.
Oh,
You still made it. I will tell
Okay.
you that. You did make it. Your DC's a 10 because you're a fucking monk. Or sorry, your DC's an 8. Sorry, your DC's
Okay.
literally an 8. You're a fucking monk. But
He's like a wood
get
half
that-
elf monk too, so he's
Yeah, you get that
stacking up.
feeling a little bit that this kind of like, I really got to get used to that. That's such an awkward thing to do.
yep.
Push and stop and push and stop and push and stop.
Or do that weird sort of half trot kind of pace.
Yeah.
Kind of,
It's
yeah.
Just like power walking.
He's like trying to adapt from his ninja run into like a marathon pace.
Like I have to
Yeah.
do like mine's like I have to do speed and a half to maintain pace with you guys. That's what it is.
Yeah. But as Iskander using his horse with ease, and the rest of you hauling ass to keep up as best as you possibly can, Corvée is kind of dumbing himself down quite a bit. As the night or the sun begins to rise in the horizon, an oddly welcoming sight given yesterday's bleak darkness in the air, as it pierces through the cloudy overcast of the sky. You guys push your way through the entire day until closer towards the sunset of that final day. You can see it far in the distance. Bill, as the sun begins to set in the distance, you got maybe about 2 hours or so of just fucking booking it if you guys want to make it, or if you want to stop for the
check
day.
chat.
Dumber, chat. Fulmer! Look at
That's
your
basic
hand.
wizard fighter thing.
Just keep booking it, yeah.
I'm not fucking.
That's
I'm
in
not
Why are
escaping
you
this
guys
joke.
so determined to make me multi-pass into a fucking rogue?
You are not escaping this joke. Too
Nope.
late.
You walked into it with the moment you picked up those lockpicks.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And the fact that you were better at me than you were better than the rogue at the rogue stuff. That's all I'm saying.
I
Oh.
regret taking that 5 gold bet.
Literally.
It started with 5 gold.
Yes, it did.
pieces.
Yes, it did.
But
Oh.
regardless, are you guys gonna push the final
Oh, yeah.
distance as you guys finally
Yeah.
hit the main road,
Push it to the limit.
corner of Sunset, and you can make that if you book it just that little bit more, or you can take a rest for now.
Now let's book it.
Book it in.
Yeah.
Gotta make more Constitution saving throws.
Rather push it and get to a bed rather than, or at least that time.
Volmir is fucking zooming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volmir. Well, Volmir has never been that used to extraneous activity. He's an elf. There's a part of him that's just like naturally used to zooming. And Dalmar, you're used to the dash and stop and dash and stop. So going for as long as you have so far,
Yeah.
once you guys start getting towards that ending distance, you feel that heft and that pain in your chest, like, oh god, never run this long for that fast. Oh god. And you feel that pain as you take a point of exhaustion.
Feel like Gimli. Us dwarves
Yeah.
are dangerous on the short distances.
I totally get that reference.
Bro, you need to fucking watch
the fucking
those.
movie. Even at least I watched it at some point in my life.
Yeah. Man, I should watch those
I
again.
know they came out before you were born, but
I'm pretty sure they came out before I was born too.
Which I have a
they
question.
shouldn't
Paul.
have.
Yeah.
No.
Was the Nintendo 64 out when you were born, or
Oh,
was that a
absolutely
console
not.
before your time?
It was console
I've
before his
never
time.
touched or seen a real life Nintendo 64.
It
Oh.
was absolutely before his time. No doubt
The
about that.
Wii was about when I was born. Let me double check that.
The what was?
The Nintendo Wii.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh no.
The Wii came out in 2006, so I was 1 when the Wii came out.
god.
Yep.
Wow.
You are as old as my fucking youngest niece.
Do you feel old yet?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
3 fetuses are gonna make us feel like grandpas.
We have things.
Fucking fetuses.
Just thinking about like you being born in the same year as the Wii came out.
I know.
I was born a year before. I was wrong about that. I was born
Okay.
a year before.
Still,
we-
that's not that
How old
far
are you,
off.
Homer?
I'm 16.
And the
Both
other
my
2 are
youngest
younger.
nieces
The
are
other 2 are
older than you.
younger.
Yeah, I am the oldest out of my friends.
So we have thing 1, thing 2, fetus 1, fetus 2, fetus 3. Got it.
Yep.
Oh.
I would rather. No. We're not going to call Wilmer a fetus. We're going to call him a rogue. Rogue 1, fetus 1,
fucking
fetus
rogue.
2. Yeah. Calling it.
I don't even think it'd be good for me to multi-class into rogue.
It wouldn't. I'm telling you
It
right now, it
wouldn't.
wouldn't. It'd just be a
Dude,
fucking good
as-
joke.
As
Not
a
a good
straight
return on
build,
investment there.
no.
It'd be a
But
really good
story-wise,
joke.
it would fit your character, I think. But that's a role-playing decision.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll do with my
Maybe he
20th
like
level.
if he
Yes.
continues this
Do
rogue
it.
streak, he'll get like some custom rogue related feat.
Maybe. I might. Maybe I'll think of something. Maybe.
Oh man.
I
I
would
love
be
that
willing
idea.
to train Volmer for free just to give him the rogue proficiencies, even if he's not
God.
interested in taking the class.
I mean, we can talk about that later, but for now,
Later. Okay, yeah.
for now, arriving at Bill after sunset, so now the sky is dark, and you see the lantern lights that ignite the stone pathways of the city. As you arrive at the cat market, which, as the name entails, and you can see several shops just opened up for you. Many objects to be purchased. There's clothing, there's gems, there's materials, all sorts of things you could think of there.
Is it all like?
But
cat
at the same
related
time,
somehow?
you can also tell that there is not high quality here. Like there is definitely a sense of this is the lower end markets of all these places. This is your Walmarts and your Jewels. These isn't your like IKEAs or your frickin' Costco's. Oh, Dalmar. But regardless, arriving into the city, you see a decent hodgepodge of races between a couple halflings, some half-elves, you got humans, and you've got the occasional half-orc and such just kind of milling about in the city as on the outside. Several of them currently in their designated groups. As the nighttime comes, most of the common folk go in while the rabble-rousers start to come out. What is your plan?
I'm having nostalgia. It's a whole new party coming back here.
Literally an entirely new party.
Yeah. I feel sad.
Just like when it first loaded up, just seeing like the full.
Yeah, I
legacy
saw. I
party.
have not. That's how long it's been since I've opened this up. The original party was in here.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh no, Bartholomew. I miss Bartholomew.
I even had Cordall in the background.
I
Oh.
wonder what happened to those guys after the Feywild happened.
I don't know. Maybe we should look them up.
Yeah.
Maybe they're alive and they're
Well,
just
we've had no
under the
reason
rain.
to.
Yeah,
because
you
we
have
just
no
know.
reason to look them up though.
Yeah. And I have no clue who they are. So.
Yeah, literally. None of you have a damn clue who any of them are except
Yeah.
for Sibo. Literally.
Wait, if they wait. We just said that we killed Darren and they traveled with Darren, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
They
but we
might
also claimed that
wonder
Darren was a
why
murderer.
Darren is like being burned as a witch in this town. So.
Yeah.
So referencing him would be not a good thing.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, we turned in a murderer to a town where he was seen murdering someone. So.
Yeah.
It's-
So who
it-
knows?
Yeah, to be honest, we acted like completely heroically. We're just assholes that they don't like.
For some fucking reason. I mean, all I did was help them. Bunch of dicks.
It's probably how you're dressed. If I'd had. to
That
guess.
didn't help, yeah. I'll tell you that right now. That really
Yeah.
didn't help. All black face mask.
I
Yeah.
quickly realized while I was hiding that hey, I'm from a wizard's college. That would probably be helpful because hey,
Yeah, probably shouldn't have the only person of legitimacy hiding like an asshole, right?
Volmir gets scared
Help.
easily, okay?
My dude's
But
legitimate.
regardless,
Perfect rogue reaction.
literally.
First thing we should do, look for a place to sleep.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Bad.
And very quickly, as you ask around, and there are several people who also kind of give you an eye, almost like the recognition of, oh, these are adventurers, these are people that go out about the world.
Rat
And
catchers.
very easily kind of asking around, the very easy place to point is over towards Whitereach, which is a very middle of the base town where a lot of adventurers tend to hang out in. It's very much the location that doesn't have the least oversight, but it has the one where it's like everyone there knows how to defend themselves, so no one really bothers to defend it themselves.
Okay.
Alright, I'll
I'm
head
going
over there.
to scan as we're walking around. Actually, one will do a perception.
What you looking for?
Specifically, the underground, the
Yep.
black market, the roguey type places.
While
Can
we're
I-
walking through, can I look for like a post office or somewhere to send the letter?
Go make a perception check as well.
I'd be looking for the same thing as Dalmar.
Okay, go make a perception check yourself. Ooh, Walmer.
Damn.
Dang.
I know the entire layout of the city, and I've walked on one street.
So,
If Volmer, if you're gonna if you want to communicate with the college, I'd probably come with you, since I got the maps and information and shit.
along the way, Dalmar and Corveus, while you keep an eye out all over the place, and you do occasionally see the odd shady figure here and there, Dalmar, you're the one who gets the keenest eye, and very much helpful given your new goggles of night, where they kind of like slink away into an alleyway, and you kind of take that little moment to stay back just a little bit to see them. And you see the general direction of which they're going. You don't see exactly where they go, especially as you guys are still on the move. But you do get a general idea that it's somewhere in the northeastern part of town.
I'll open up comms with Corveus. And so what are you looking for?
Oh, you know. Probably the same thing you are.
The fun underbelly?
Oh, yes.
Northeast,
Meanwhile-
I think.
Meanwhile, Volmer, along the way, as you're kind of keeping an eye out, it isn't until you guys get to the Whitereach district. And very soon after, as you get towards where a lot of the condensed inns and taverns are, that you do see that there is a post office there. And it's almost kind of like a moment of twinge inside your mind. It's like, well, of course they have a post office here. This is the area for adventurers, so probably hundreds of people would like to send a letter outwards to some place here and there, so of course they'd have a post office here. And surely enough, you would find one not that far from one of the inns, of which could be a prospect for you guys. And it even shows that they are open 24/7. Very much you arrive, you get to send your letter. Oh, by the way, if you want to update your HPs, go ahead and click on yourselves, and there should be a cog on the bottom left, and you can actually adjust your HP values. I forgot to mention that.
Also, as a mailman, I want to say that the 24-hour post office sounds like hell.
Oh, yeah.
Goldberg, you wouldn't happen to have a second copy of a map of the ruin, would you?
I could transcribe one fairly quickly.
May I have one, please? I'm planning on reporting this to my college that I used to work at.
Very well.
I'm hoping they can find something there that earns us a few gold.
Well,
Real
we'll see
quick.
about that.
Real quick. What the fuck, you guys? 35, 35, 35?
Are we all at 35 hit points?
Except for Dalmor at 37.
Really?
I just saw you guys all adjust your HPs, and I see 35, 35. I'm like, There's no way. No,
We
you guys
all
are
have-
fucking
we
with
all
me.
have
And I
very
looked at your character
different hit
sheets, and
dice,
yes, you all
so-
have 35 except for Delmar.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 on my last one, so like,
It's just
Oh, that's
standard
freaking
hit
great.
points. What are you talking about? Every
That's
level,
one of
every
those
level 5
moments
character gets this.
where, like, I noticed last week that the 3-digit security code on my debit card and my credit card are the same number.
oh jeez.
And they are
That's not
from
scary at all.
two unrelated, completely different organizations.
Oh, the 3 digits on mine are 666.
Wow.
Nice. I had one.
My mom's religious, so she fucking hates it every time I use it. She's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Yes, you know this. It's like the 12th time I've told you."
I had one that expired on 420, and then another one with the digits as 007.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I always got a chuckle when I ordered stuff.
Alright, so yeah, get going.
Yeah.
Sketching out this map. Trying to make it a bit nicer than the one that I made in the dungeon.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity check, and I'm pretty sure you're proficient with cartographer's tool, right?
Yep. So that will be
So with
+4.
yeah,
I
with
I
your
don't have a cartographer's check set up yet. So.
yeah, you can add that in your skills if you want to, just to make it
Yeah, I
easier,
will.
but
But
that's on your
it-
choice.
it's-
Yeah.
While
it's
he's
this
doing that, I'm just
plus
gonna
an
keep an eye
additional
out, make sure
3.
we don't get pickpocketed.
Ooh, so 8. I will say it's not the worst map you've ever made, but you're kind of getting the idea. It's like it's a little different sketching a map onto a map than it is sketching a map you're currently looking at.
Yeah.
So it's not the prettiest copy in the world, but it is a decent copy. Volmer, what were you saying?
While he's doing that, I'm gonna try to like keep an eye out and make sure neither of us get pickpocketed.
Go make a perception check.
Just considering we're like in the middle of town and like we're in where the adventurers go and adventurers can be greedy.
Okay.
Looking at the
23
two
says
people.
you're kind of like overlooking his Scandaroon as he's working on copying over the map that he has drawn over. Not doing the greatest job in the world, but he is at least proficient in this. As you're kind of keeping an eye out, you do see the occasional eye kind of come towards your direction. You're not entirely sure if it's because you're a scholar, or maybe it's because Scandaroon doesn't look like the kind of person to be sketching a map, or what have you. At the very least, you're pretty sure you have a good eye on things. Corvelius and Delmar, what are you two up to?
Proving that Dragonborn right. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So you're traveling the northeastern direction.
Yep. So while Volmer and Scandaroon head off towards the post office, copying a map along the way, you two begin to make your way toward the northeastern district of the cat market.
Yes.
And you would see almost immediately that in those backed buildings that go off of the main roads or the main squares and district itself, it starts to get rather bleak and quiet. Not much light to speak of any kind. And it definitely is the place where you noted those shady figures were pretty much just kind of hanging out.
Oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, dang it. I should have opened up a group comm
We
before
can backtrack to
headed
say
out.
that if you want.
If you'd like, that'd be good, so that we can at least figure out what the shit we're doing.
Alright. So, all 4 of you, and go ahead and roll your psionic die to figure out how long this is going to last.
And there was what, 2d6?
1d6, I believe. It's whatever your psionic die is, which is a d6 right now, I believe.
Damn.
Full on 6 hours. There you go.
All right.
Oh my god. Late night shenanigans. Hey, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping?
So, you guys have intercommunication with each other for 6 hours. And the walk there alone would have been about a half an hour or so. So, it's a good chunk of time off, but nonetheless.
Volmer, you say that, but the last time we were down here, someone tried to steal something, fucked up, and it almost got them murdered.
I remember reading that.
Yep,
Yeah.
Gordal.
That was
You mean a
interesting.
player did that, or that was an NPC?
That was a player.
Player.
Long
Yep.
story short, I stuck a golem on him that had hold person, but he kept fucking saving against hold person.
Yep. In a closed underground area. So.
Not the best place to try to run out of.
Well, the
He
lawful
also
good cleric is
forgot
going.
that the only way in there was also the only way out, which is by default sealed. So he
Yeah,
got
it's like
caught when he did the grab and scoot, and then had nowhere to go.
you try to like grab something and run out, but like there's like a giant that needs to like manually open and close the wall
Yep.
for
Yep.
everyone to go through. So.
Me playing the lawful good cleric goes, huh? Sucks for him. Anyways, back to haggling.
So, what are you two up to while Volmer and Iskander are busy playing Postman?
Trying to find some kind of black market.
Yep.
That's
How
our
are you
main.
doing so? Personal investigation, or are you trying to ask around?
Usually asking around for a black market isn't a good thing. So probably just investigating a bit. Keeping an eye out on people.
So, if you want to make an investigation check, it's by your own investigation or a charisma check to try and see if you can find it.
Yeah,
Or
right.
by
Charisma.
No.
Yes.
Charisma. You know what? No.
Didn't want to
Nope.
humor it.
Let's investigate first. Oh fuck.
Go on.
As you guys spend a good chunk of time covering this.
I'm just gonna point out, with that roll, if I would have done a charisma, it would have been a 0.
So as you guys
Just
spend
saying.
the close end to an hour, kind of just like really focusing, trying to be like, there's got to be some place around here, and looking through these buildings and sections and seeing where all these shady people are kind of just hanging out, you don't see anything. As an hour goes by before you even realize it.
Fuck. I don't like this next part.
I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna go up to one of the shady people.
Gonna ask him.
Using thieves can't just be like, where's the fun place to be?
You immediately see a recognition, and this is a half elf, seeming drow half elf, who's kind of just like chilling in an alleyway, and he kind of gives you a side glance, and he responds in thieves can't. Yes. Agreement with the city. No business past sundown. Too easy to sneak about. But then he kind of gestures over towards one barren building that looks like it's been closed off and covered up. Says, come sunrise, though, bring your gold.
What's the this character is trying so hard right now. Anything specific about this funhouse?
Don't steal, unless you're asking for trouble. But you'll find pretty much everything and anything. Keep an eye
Means
out
of
for fakes,
entry?
though.
I didn't hear that last part out of game.
Keep an eye out for fakes, though.
Okay.
For Finks?
Fakes.
Fakes.
Oh, fakes.
Falsified product.
I was like, Jesus Christ, Finks? Oh, okay.
And then I asked means of entry because he just pointed out the building, right? Or did I not hear that part also?
No, he pointed out the building, yeah.
Okay. How do I get into the building come sunrise? It was the question I had asked him before I distracted everyone.
Make persuasion check.
Okay.
I don't know why you guys are asking about a black market when we're about to put a down payment on a car.
Okay. You see an inquisitive eye to him, kind of a like, are you sure you're a thief asking this many generic questions over a black market? Then he kind of just like, head down the stairs, give the wall a knock or two.
Appreciate it. Hand him 3 gold.
He takes it, just pockets it immediately, then immediately turns away from you as if you never spoke.
Yep, we were never there.
I say, we see if there's any, in this side of town, maybe. It's a long walk back here.
And I'll convey mentally what he said in case Corvus was out of earshot.
Also, it's in Thieves' Camp, so Corvus does not understand Thieves' Camp.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, true. So then I will translate.
Okay.
You need to teach me
What'd
that
you say you were
sometime.
gonna check up next, Corvus?
We can work on that.
He clearly said that, like, I clearly saw him talking with someone, right?
Yeah. After like a little bit of your own investigation kind of starts
Okay.
dulled down, you kind of see him like speaking with someone, speaking some kind of muddled language of some kind. Then he passes over 3 gold, and the guy really just like, and you recognize it. It's this conversation never happened.
Yeah. And then I would just wait for him. I wouldn't go talking to people myself, because I don't do well with that.
Also, I just noticed that Corvus and Dalmar now have the exact same passive insight and passive perception. You motherfuckers.
God damn it. He cheats to get his, though. So, shall we... Yes! Dynamic crime duo. Shall we find a inn closer to this area? Or should we go back down to that other district?
I think at this point, if it's been hours, I think me and Volmer would probably have found somewhere. And
No, yeah.
One.
Again, I'll get back
Yeah.
to you. I'm pretty sure you'll get there as well. Yeah.
And at this point, I'll ask Iskandarun and Volmer, because it's only been, you said, an hour.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half now. Okay. So yeah, we're an hour and a half into my 6-hour comms. So I'll ask them, did you guys find an inn?
So, back to Volmer and Iskandarun. As you guys finish up the map, and you find the post office that Volmer very easily knew that there would be there somewhere, somehow, because he's a fucking genius. Mr. Nat 20. The postage
It's natural.
to
Warm.
the postage to send to Volmer's college, all the way across the divide, would run a solid 6 gold pieces. Oh, and Iskandarun's dead. Refresh.
Reconnect. Loading.
Huh?
See, if I cover the 6 gold, I am only technically lost 5 throughout the whole campaign then, because Corvus gave me 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm...
Refresh.
Okay, reconnect.
As everybody except for Scanners, I'm gonna guess that his internet's fucking up right now.
He has died.
But
Anyway,
you wanna cover the payment? You said.
I'll cover the 6 gold for
All right.
the letter, because I'm hoping that I can get some sort of money for an ancient temple that no one's found before.
So what exactly is going in this message? Like generically.
It's basically just going to be, greetings, I found a ancient temple. I can't tell the origin, but it has some sort of religious importance. There was an incident in this area with a large pillar of darkness that was related directly to this temple in a portal to the void that used to be open here. And there was a suit of legendary armor here, as well as a Shadowfell creature that both were sadly lost when closing the portal.
Okay.
So he's
It's
just like, I'm sorry, I've been gone. He's just like detailing what happened in there.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, basically, it sounds like, yeah.
Going over the important stuff, kind of.
I also like to point out like that the map I gave has like all kinds of indicators to like dangerous rooms, stuff to look out for.
Or at least as good as you can get with an 8. So yeah, you got that little detail in there that's
Well,
like,
it's got to be a little vague. I mean, it's an adventure
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
Where's the fun if it's not? But
Also, if you're a cartographer, well, this is sort of an out of game suggestion, but get tracing paper.
I mean,
don't
Is that a
think
thing
that's-
that even
I-
exists in D
I
and
was
D?
gonna say I don't think that would exist in D&D.
I mean,
well,
Okay.
if
You
you
can
hold it,
prestidigitate.
I'm
a
pretty sure
copy and
everything is
trace
like
it.
vellum
Oh, yeah,
parchment
prestidigitation.
right now.
yeah, very thin vellum would work for
You
tracing.
could prestidigitate a copy of the image and then trace it.
You could, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't.
That would
use
actually-
prestidigitation
Yeah.
for my
Yeah.
own reasons.
Regardless.
I
Let's
always
see.
have the spell. You know, it's my favorite.
Let's see. Letter is sent off for. You guys have, I would say, about 40 minutes before any word would come from Corvus to Dalmar. So what are you guys planning in that time?
I think we'll just like, my scanner will like walk and talk while looking for an inn.
Yeah.
And
it's fun.
very
That's
easily
the
and
place to
quickly.
Um,
Are you guys looking for a specific type of inn, like value-wise, or are you just looking for just any old inn?
just a place, and while we go around, I'll actually ask Volmer. So, you come from college, do you?
Yes, I studied there most of my life.
What did you study?
I specialize in history, specifically for weapons.
Really?
Yes. It's always been a passion of mine.
And that's not where you came across your magical talents, is it?
Oh, I picked up a few things here and there, especially around the college where there were quite a few spellcasters.
I had to scrounge up the books and teach myself, I suppose. Not very good at the more theoretical things.
So, as you guys are conversing and you look around for an inn and ask around here and there, you do get quite a few options, but one of them that is most commonly offered is a very basic inn called the White Branch. Not only just a play on the word of the district, kind of tells you why people know it so very easily. As you kind of make your way towards the building, you can see that it's actually kind of designed a little bit to resemble that of nature, which is a little ironic given the terrain of which you guys are in.
As long as it doesn't have bugs, Volmir is sold.
And as you guys kind of go in and you ask for a price, it is 2 silver a night. Unless you guys want to start sharing rooms.
I think that's acceptable.
2 silver is honestly very cheap, so that's
It
actually
is very cheap.
Mm.
Kind of tells you once again why this place is like the most commonly known. It's like, oh, it's a cheap room, it's easy to access, it's in the Adventures place. Cool.
I guess I'll cover us. I can cover us.
Alright, so the 4 of you, that is 8 silver. Mark that down.
Yeah, I have to like figure out the conversion for that because I
10,
don't.
10, 10. It's all 10,
I'm
10,
pretty sure
10.
1 gold's 100 silver, right?
No, 10, 10, 10. 1 gold
Oh,
is
10,
10,
10, 10.
silver. Yeah.
So.
Very nice and easy, just 10, 10, 10.
So
Yeah.
that means
Except for Electrum.
Shut up.
We don't talk about Electrum.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
so lose
Like
a gold, gain 2
7
silver.
silver?
Is that right?
Between push
Yeah.
to talk and forgetting my mic is muted.
I saw you try talking.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but
w-
like if you think about it, they like in the D&D world, they only have pennies, dimes, dollars, and $10 bills.
Yeah,
And that's it.
relatively speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, Volmer, it would be handy, I did this on mine, to break down a couple gold into like 20, 30 silver, put it in your inventory, and then break down the silver into like 30 copper, just to have it.
Okay, I'll probably do that then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just nice to just have going. So so you don't have to do this every time you do the conversion.
Mm-hmm.
But as you are to each go to your room, and it becomes instantly obvious as to why it is only 2 silver a room. The room has a bed and a nightstand. That's it. The nightstand has one little cupboard in it. That's it.
Such luxury.
We have the telekinetic comlink thing, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna let Dalmar and Corbeus know that we got a room, where we are, what rooms we have, that type of thing.
So roughly.
Yeah, where did you two pop off to?
Yeah, where are you?
So roughly at the end of your investigation and getting the information on the black market, when you're about to like go and send your own message of like, hey, what's going on? You get the message from Vollmer in a scan room, kind of like, hey, we found a room. What the fuck's going on?
Where the fuck are you?
Oh, just in the market district.
Yep.
We turn around for 5 seconds and you're all ready.
Literally.
Yeah, just up here in the cat's market.
On the market district thing.
They said in the market district. That's it.
Yeah, we're up here in the cat's market.
Well, hope
Where
you
is
haven't put
that?
us out of the running for that wagon.
I will be right back.
I hope you've found a good lead for a wagon then, or a horse.
Most of the shops seem to be closing up, so no, we haven't.
Very well. We'll search in the morning.
Yep, we'll be heading back here shortly, probably. No business after dusk, I guess, or dark, or whatever.
Which is okay. Out of curiosity, that's ironic for a black market, which would be very much advantageous to do only business in the dark.
Oh, the issue is people like Corveus. I'll point that out right now.
This is Borisland. The black market is more of a gray market in that it's known about and has sanctioned and laws.
It's like your friendly
Actually-
neighborhood black market. It's like the Walmart.
Delmar, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me. That's
I know, at least
I
in
was gonna say-
Cochise, like the king is literally also the mob boss of the region.
Check not a save, but I'm gonna guess that's a
Oh.
8 then instead.
Sorry.
That's good.
Yeah, that should be 3 lower.
Okay, so 7. Okay.
Whichever one you want to use. Just
You know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, just because I would like to share this little information, is the way that half-elven drow said it. You get the idea that this black market is not a simple one. That normally black markets, in your experience, operate of their own volition. But a black market that has actual established rules within a city means that it's working with either the city or someone who likes to control the direction that black market's going.
Government mandated black market.
Pretty much.
so basically, this would have been right. Okay. Yep.
I mean, if I remember from like the campaign summary, it's like it was really well set up. Like they have
Yes.
a huge system of organization and law there.
Yeah, which is something most black markets don't usually have. But regardless, as the group begins to funnel back together towards the inn, Volmer and Iskander giving you guys your rooms, learning that the rooms are just fucking barren as all fuck.
Any of them have a window?
Hmm?
Any of them have a window?
Scanders.
What?
Scanders is the only room who has a
Oh.
window.
Fuck. Okay. Just checking.
It actually puts Dalmar at ease.
Not Corveus.
Alright.
Does
So
my
you guys-
familiar return in the night?
Okay. And once again gathers information for you, kind of explains more of the terrain and stuff. Tells you about narrowly escaping, only because of its size, a giant rainbow-esque bird that came out of nowhere.
You might want to keep an eye out for that, Moloch.
As
When
you
we
guys
go to
get
bed.
your long rest, unless anyone wants anything to do in the middle of the night, Delmar, you can get rid of your exhaustion. No spells
Okay.
or health was lost in this point.
I'm gonna use a ritual cast to cast alarm just while I go to sleep or
Okay.
before I go to trance.
All right. So,
I'm going to.
Wait, we've seen you do that before, haven't we, Volmer?
alarm.
Yeah,
No,
Yes.
this is my first time
Once
casting
time
it.
in the cave. Yes.
you did it in the cave.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
Corvais is going to come up to you and ask if you can do that around his room.
Is it? Can I do that in 2 rooms?
Yes.
Oh, then sure
It
thing,
is
my
not
friend.
concentration, and you can like cast as many times as you want through ritual or through spellcast.
Sure thing, my friend.
It
And
just
then
lasts
we go
8.
and-
It just lasts 8 solid hours.
In a similar vein to this security discussion, I'll have Moloch sit on the windowsill in my room.
Okay.
I was about to say, am I about to cast alarm on everyone's room now?
No.
I appreciate that. I don't like these rooms.
So, as you all awake to the bright sunny morning, Vollmer taking your time to kind of look over your spells for the 4 hours that you were awake for prior to anyone. The day is yours as you all awake to a bright and early sound of several people, several other adventurers and ne'er-do-wells all kind of gathering up their things, discussing plans and where to go next. As several of them either depart from the city altogether from this district, or they start heading into town for a quick bite to eat or maybe some quick purchases before they go.
So I get up pretty early. I'm a soldier, and I begin, doing my physical and magical exercises.
All right.
And also, as part of this daily preparation, I will ritually cast comprehend languages.
That lasts 10 minutes?
That lasts an hour.
Okay. And you would hear several other languages being spoken. There's Elvish, there's Orcish, there's Halfling. Get the odd end of Draconic, even though they're not coming from Dragonborn. Which there are the occasional Dragonborn in this, the White Arch area. With other adventurers, either they look like scholars or warriors or just simple people that are just walking around and just hanging out, dealing with things. All of them conversing about all sorts of different things to do. Getting their wagons, getting their horses, getting their supplies and such. Kind of just a huge mess of information is coming to you. So, what is everybody doing as Walmart goes and shits himself?
I like how the Scandaroon is doing the D&D magical equivalent of sniffing packets at a Starbucks.
God damn it. Oh. Corvais is going to start wandering to the northeast and just whatever random stalls are open, just kind of grabbing food along the way, type of thing. Apple here, you know.
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
I'm gonna buy them.
Oh, you're gonna buy them. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Nah.
I
don't wanna-
thought you were just going like whoop, nom nom nom, whoop, nom nom.
Now that you say it, I kind of want to. We'll do it for the first one. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And
Alright.
kind of past one of the carts that are currently selling a little bit of morning breakfast. You see that they have freshly squeezed orange juice and such. They even have a bit of cut up bananas. You can kind of just go like, whoop, grab a banana, and just walk on, none the wiser.
So as it approaches the time where most people are going to be up, I'll go over to like Downwar's room and say, "All right, you better do that mental link thing you do, so we can all talk together today."
Corvai's just eating a banana in the meantime.
That's a good idea.
All right. So mental
I
link. Go
think
ahead
we
and roll your psionic
need
die.
everyone to be. I need to see everyone.
Yeah.
And
And
then
there
once
would be a
it's-
moment in the morning where you guys will all be gathered, I would hope.
Okay. Yeah. and I'm explaining to Iskenderun that like I need to see everyone in close proximity. Then once the link is made, then we can be a mile apart.
It's a very useful spell.
It's, well, it's psionic, not quite the what is it? Weave?
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
weave.
Whatever.
Not the
Well,
weave. It is your mind, if you want to put it that way.
What
well,
is
Dalmar
magic?
doesn't quite understand the weave.
Yeah,
He's
What
just
is-
heard the magic people use that term a lot.
yeah. I'm saying like it's not
So
the weave. It's
That was in
it's our
character.
minds.
yeah,
I don't think Iskandarian knows anything about psionics. Like he knows that there's telepathic spells, but doesn't
Yeah,
know.
so,
that
so it's like
certain
you're
things.
aware
Yeah.
like there is telepathic things, but it's like the understanding with psionic is like, fuck if I know how that works. It's
like
not
the
the
difference
weave.
between
So I
knowing
don't
like
know.
Mind Sliver exists to that there's people who actually have an entirely different type of magical ability in
Yeah.
psionics.
So go ahead and roll your d6 psionic die. Let's see how long this lasts.
all right.
4 hours.
4 hours.
All right.
And when it's established, does Delmar have a sense of how long it's going to last?
I was gonna say I feel like it's kind of like a concentration spell kind of thing where it's like you feel it in your mind. It's like, oh, I've got a hold of this 4 hours kind of deal, and you can feel that timer ticking inside your own head.
Okay. All right. So once the mental link is established, I'll be like, all right, this link will be up for roughly 4 hours, and then in that time we should either gather back together somewhere or have a plan.
Or
Volma's
should have a
face
rave.
is pure RPG. Or BG, sorry.
I don't want to waste much time here. We should get the carriage together and go.
Okay.
I still need to get my armor repaired before we go.
And in the meantime,
Check out the market district then.
yes. I have something I want to see if I can sell for a minute.
Okay. So Corbeus and Delmar are going towards the market. Volmar, you're searching for a blacksmith, and Iskander, what are you going for?
I'll just go with Volmer at this point.
Okay. So let's take care of the the blacksmith first. Go ahead and make an investigation check or a charisma check if you're asking around.
I am much better at investigation.
Okay, as you say that. There you go. While you two are walking around, kind of glancing here and to, if you want to grab a quick bite to eat for breakfast, you can very easily do as such. Not that all expensive around here, or you can just partake in your rations if you have any. But along the way, eventually, Volmer, you do find a blacksmith who has a very undescript shop, but the way that you know it's a blacksmith is you kind of just feel a bit of emanating heat just coming from the door, and there's kind of just a sense of like, why would anything be heated and unmarked as a building? Like, might as well check in there. As you open it up, you feel the waft of heat just kind of go off as you enter into a small little room that is very narrow, has a couple of weapons just on the wall, a couple of armor pieces on the other side, and a few designs and shields hanging on behind the counter itself. And you see a half-orcan man kind of just standing at the counter, and you see him kind of working on something like these little bits of leather that he's kind of like very carefully intertwining into what looks like a bracer of some kind. As you come through, he kind of looks up at you guys and goes, "Good morning. How can I help you two?"
Good morning, good sir. I was we were on a quest recently, and my armor got a bit damaged by a slime monster thing. I was hoping you could maybe repair it or replace it, depending on what's doable. And I'm gonna show him.
You hear him give off a sigh, almost like a recognition sigh, as he kind of stops his workflow and goes, "Oh, you damn people, always messing with them oozes. Bring it here, let me see the damage.
In my defense, I wasn't trying.
don't mean you didn't mess with it.
Well, shut a minute. I guess I would have my armor off already by now.
Yeah, it'd be like you're prepping it, so it's just like you kind of just hand it over, and as he kind of looks over, he kind of like runs his hand over the grooves and the burns that he got into. Oh, it ain't nothing bad. Couple of fixes here and there, dents, maybe some filling, a bit of patches. Should be all fine. Lucky for you, ain't got no much work right now. Give me a couple hours. About 10 gold pieces.
I can handle that. Pay the good sir who's fixing my armor.
Does he still have the Assassin's Creed blade?
What Assassin's Creed blade?
Nothing?
Wait, what Assassin's Creed blade?
As you pay over the money, he takes the armor. You watch as he kind of just like puts it off to the side real quick and looks at you, Skander, and goes, "And you? What can I do for you?
Nothing for me.
Anything else from me?"
Nothing at the moment, but I'm probably going to take a look around onto your stock if you don't mind.
All right ahead. And you see him kind of like put down the bracer and his like little bits of leather that he's currently working on.
And to pass the time while we wait for it to repair, I'm just going to look at what he has.
Okay.
While he's browsing around, I'm actually gonna take a step outside, and I'm gonna like hold my arm out and summon Moloch on it. I'm going to look at him and telepathically communicate that I need him to go check out the town to the south.
The town to the south is.
Yeah, let me just pull it up here. I have a bad memory.
It is
The one. Here.
3 days travel at
Balloon
the
Flower.
least.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to fly ahead and check it out.
Okay. Okay. So as you do that, you hear him kind of just like give a bit of a chittering coo at you before spreading his wings and just flying off. Okay. As Vollmer, as you look over much of his wares, you see short swords, long swords. You see the occasional rapier with some elegant design etched into it. Some daggers and darts. You also see that some of his armorings, you've got full-plated armor, you've got chainmail armor, all very basic and generic with nothing really special to it. And the shields on the back of the counter, once again, very generic, run-of-the-mill shields you can find basically just anywhere with the most random of designs to it. As the half-orcan man takes the armor to the back, and as soon as he kicks open the door to the back, you immediately hear him say, "Hey! Get to work on fixing this!" And you almost hear just a low grumble of a sound to someone before the door closes and he goes back. Before coming back after a couple minutes to the front counter, no longer carrying the armor.
You don't know how tempted I am to make a John Cena joke. Anyway. That's basically what I'm gonna be doing. I can't think of much else Fulmir would want to do in this. Fulbright wants to do something, and Fulmir might follow him to that.
Okay. So, anything else you guys want to do after the blacksmith by any chance?
I'd be heading over to look for a place to get a horse and wagon and all that. Probably the same place where I left my horse coming into town, to be honest.
Well, anywhere you would have left your horse, it'd be right there in White Arch. Sorry, White Arch.
Yeah.
They would have just these little posts in the front where they'd say, it's like, yeah, you can leave your horse there. You run the risk of them being stolen, but at the same time, who wants to steal a horse?
Horse
Alright,
thieves.
well, I'll probably start asking around there in terms of places to get horse and cart, horse and wagon.
So you're asking around?
Yeah.
Go make a charisma check.
Oh boy.
Yes.
There is, I wouldn't say a reluctance to trying to tell you where to go as much as a lot of people are kind of just like, why do you only have one horse for an entire party? Like, that makes no sense. Stuff like that. But, you would eventually get a generic answer kind of saying, like, if you want to buy any horses, you want to buy a cart or something, look to the Highwoods. They got everything up there.
Oh, like this, the entire western half of the town.
Yep.
All right, come on, Bulmer.
All right. So, in the meantime, Corvus and Dalmar heading up to the cat market.
Yep.
What are you up to?
I sent you a whisper, DM. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't do something dumb when I was adjusting stuff.
Yes. The conversion is all 10 10 10.
Okay, thank you. And then, when I feel like there's no guards around, I'll enter the funhouse.
Which isn't an issue, as you make your way over there and you immediately note the lack of guards and the thinning of them until you get towards the building where it is entirely unwatched.
I would have loved this.
As you
Alright.
enter into the nondescript building, you're immediately met with a run-down, what you could imagine was or used to be an inn of some kind. The first floor just has like these ruined desks and chairs and such. And there is a way to get upstairs, but it's currently just collapsed by rubble and debris. While there is a way downstairs, which you kind of know is like, well, they said downstairs. And as you head down those stairs, you're merely met by a dead end after about 20 to 30 feet or so of just traveling downward, where it just ends in a stone wall, just sitting there doing nothing.
Walk up to it.
As you give it that just onto the stone, a minute or so passes, and there's kind of like a moment of like, was that right to do? Before you hear the grinding of stone, the kind of get pulled out as you see the perfectly fitted stone reveal a Goliath on the other side. As he pulls it across with his tribal tattoos and dual battle axes on his back. As he steps aside immediately for you and kind of just like gestures inside where you see what you had before as entirely different characters. Just wall-to-wall stalls, just perfectly organized and set across with aisles in between, and just all sorts of noises and people just shouting over each other, all sorts of bargains and deals. Come get your silver and gold, come get your iconography, get your gems, get your items, get your materials, everything just booming all around. Welcome to the black market. And as you step inside, immediately the Goliath, you hear him just grind and pull the door closed. As you see just his two handles on the opposite side of the stone slab that he's just using with brute strength to open and close.
Okay.
So what are you guys looking for? There's anything from materials to potions, gems, vases, bags, equipment, you name it. There's one of everything.
Corvus will probably see that Dalmar has a smirk on his face and his shoulders just sort of relax. This is sort of Dalmar's happy place, his comfort zone.
Okay. Corvus' first thing is looking for other exits.
So first things first.
Are you gonna physically look for it, or are you just kind of trying to keep an eye out?
Just glancing around.
Perception check.
That's the don't steal from me check. Oh well.
Okay.
Although my passive perception is better than that.
Yeah, your passive is better. As you're looking around, Corvus, immediately what strikes you is you're kind of like just looking around as you two kind of just like drift from place to place a little bit as you're hearing all this noise. It immediately strikes you that there is no clear exit here. But at the same time, there's no ventilation, which is immediately kind of like a sending signal of like, there's something hidden here somewhere. It's gotta
Yeah.
be. You
So
can't
So-
there
see
is
it.
or is not ventilation.
There is not.
Yeah.
So there has to be some way out of here, or there's some way that these torches that are lit that keep this entire place ignited are not suffocating the fucking air.
Huh. Can I watch the smoke from the torches and see if it goes anywhere specific?
Make another perception check.
Okay.
You just see it start to kind of like rise up, and as it kind of gets towards the ceiling, which is at that about 30-foot mark, it starts to kind of just faintly dissipate in scattered directions. As you kind of try to like focus on each and every direction, you can't quite follow it. It's like, is it the ceiling? Is it the walls? It's hard to tell.
Okay.
They've done some good work keeping this secret.
Okay. Well, my first stop is to try to find someone who deals in plants.
All right, and with enough walking, possibly about half an hour or so later. So at this point, we're at about the hour and a half mark of the psychic link totaled up. As you find an herbology stand where there is several little containers with plants and several like little potion bottles just filled with liquidized plants as well. And you see one man's currently grinding away at some powder, trying to make some sort of concoction of some kind. And you see that it's a rickety old man who has a missing eye. Literally, just the eye just doesn't have anything in there. It's just a socket. And you see that he has like a bunch of missing teeth as he looks up to you with graying hair. And as you kind of walk up to the counter, you see him kind of look and goes, "How can I help ya?"
Would you happen to be in the market for buying rare and exotic plants?
Depends on the plant. What you talking about? As he kind of puts down his little grindstone and pommel.
You might want to hold your breath. And I will pull out.
You actually see a smirk kind of come over to his face. Goes, "Can't poison me that easy."
Anyways, I'll pull out the plant and just kind of hold it out gently in front of me. And I took it from the base, so I'm guessing it's a decent sized chunk.
Yeah. You kind of hold it out by the stem, and you kind of immediately see him kind of like squint his one eye, and you see him reach into his pocket, and he just slaps something into his other eye, and you see just like a glass ball of some kind of like just swirl around before it like steadies.
Mad Eye Moody style.
And you see a painted eye, but by the way, it's painted very awkwardly. It's like a child painted an eyeball onto it.
Oh god.
As he kind of like stares at it, you see his good eye just like widen as he just stares at it and goes, "What? What realm? No. Shadowfell? You've been."
Possibly.
Where did you find such a concentration?
That will cost you extra for information.
Make a persuasion check. Okay. You see a struggle in the old man's mind, kind of like a should I not, before he kind of just like shakes a bit. And goes, "No, no, 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 I'm not the one to send off. You're looking to sell."
Yes. You know what this plant
I'd
is?
be more than welcome to take it. How does 50 gold pieces sound?
It sounds like an insult.
You see a scowl go across his face, and it's like, it is but a plant. It's only one. There's not so much I could do with a single plant.
You can grow more.
I cannot. Unless I find a concentrated method of the Shadowfell in my home, which I will not do.
But, as you say, this is from the Shadowfell. How often are you going to run across something like this?
Make another persuasion check with advantage. Ooh,
Thank God.
thank God for advantage. You see the internal struggle in him, kind of like 75.
Still seems like you're lowballing me. You know how hard it is to find one of these? You know how dangerous this plant is? It almost, took the mind of one of my compatriots.
You kind of see like him glare at you a little bit, and I was like, and you trusted your compatriot to sniff at one of these shadow felon flora?
No, he's just an idiot. Sorry, I couldn't say it with a straight face.
80.
You seem to not appreciate the true value of this plant, so...
And you do not seem to understand how little a single plant is.
Yes, I understand how little one single plant might be, but with a proper alchemist, it could still turn into a lot, so... Offer me a good price, or else I look to other stalls.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Or intimidation, if that's the way you want to go.
At this point, I'm gonna try intimidation. Nope.
Ooh.
Nope.
You almost see a grin kind of go across his face, kind of goes like, I'm sure you won't find a better offer than from me. And you see the eye kind of just like go off center and around.
Oh god, that's so creepy.
AC5, final offer. Or you can go to the Knolls.
The Knolls? We'll speak again. I'll come back.
You just see him kind of just grimace at you as you kind of walk away.
I'm gonna look for other shops.
Make an investigation check. Whoo! There's your natural.
There we go.
As you begin to look around, it does take another half hour or so, just kind of looking through stand to stand, where you do see one of a fair woman, an elven woman that kind of just stands at the counter. You see her like with a little notebook in her hand, kind of categorizing the plants that she has perfectly plastered on the wall. They're nicely pressed, and you see even labeled names to every single one of them. The difference between organized chaos and his chaos.
Yeah.
And as you kind of approach, she kind of just like turns to look and says, how may I help you? As she closes her ledger.
Are you in the market for buying rare and exotic plants?
That would depend on what it is you are offering.
I suggest possibly holding your breath, and I will pull out the plant.
Kind of hold out the plant. You see her kind of focus her eye on it for a couple moments before she kind of, may I? And she holds out her hand for it.
Yeah, I'll hand it to her.
As you hand it to her, you see her kind of just like focus on it and look. And there comes a moment where you see just a brief flash of shimmering gold energy go through her eyes. And you see a cocked brow kind of raise. Goes, might I ask what it was you were doing in the Shadowfell? It's very rare for ones to go there and come back sane.
That would cost you extra.
A man of business. I
Very
see.
much.
And she places the flower down on the counter very gently. I am willing to offer 75 gold pieces for the flower. There's quite a few things I'm very willing to do and test on it.
The old man down the way was willing to offer me more. I know how rare this plant is. I know how few.
You see an instant recognition when you say the old man.
Yep.
And there's a bit of a sour look to her face that kind of just comes to her, kind of like, he is also a Crichton who sees nothing more in plants than how to abuse them. I wish to actually find a way to replicate this one. However, it is a dangerous experiment as well as a haphazardly one.
Yes. But how often in your lifetime will you get this opportunity?
In mine, quite a few. In yours, I would not expect as much.
I think even in your lifetime, this chance doesn't come across very often unless you're adventuring yourself. As you say, most people go to the Shadowfell, do not come back quite in their right mind.
I will say I'm not one for the interplanar travels, but I can very much find those who are.
You could. You could.
And that information of which you have discovered the plants in question, I would more than be willing to pay for, if we are to come to an accord.
How about this? 150 for the plant. If you want to know where I got it and how I got it, that'll be 200.
Make a persuasion check.
Fuck me.
There's a hard eye that comes from her. And kind of sears, kind of squints a little bit at you. How about 150 for both? The plant and the information in question.
Meet in the middle at 175?
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Fuck me. Fuck!
Oh!
Why'd it have to be disadvantage?
That pain! You see her kind of just like grow a little bit of a smirk to her lips. And if it wasn't for the fact that this woman was haggling with you over money, there'd be a little bit of like, huh, elves are pretty. She kind of just goes, I'm afraid that 150 already seems handsome enough to pay for a meal with flour and information.
Very well. 150 it is.
You watch her take out a small little bottle in which she places the flour inside and places a cork stop on the top of it very quickly before going to a small little backdoor compartment where she comes back with a small pouch of 150 gold pieces. But before she hands it over, she places it on the counter very gently, closer to her. She goes, and the location of which you found these?
I'll put my hand on the counter, ready for her to like push it towards me. Up to the northeast, there's a small town. Inside there, they have a mining establishment. Inside that mine, they seem to dig up an old ancient ruin. In there was a portal that led to the Shadowfell. And these plants were growing within the vicinity.
She pushes the sack into your hands.
I'll take it.
And she gently bows to you and says, pleasure doing business with you. As
Pleasure.
she takes the little bottle with the flour.
Pleasure doing business with you too. Well, pocket the gold.
Okay. So nice little payday for a single flower.
Yep.
Oh. Dalmar, are you on the search for anything in here, by any chance? If not, we can hop real quick to Volmer and Scandaroon.
Sorry, just
Okay.
needed to quiet the bag. I'm basically just poking around, but I'm going to also price bags of holding.
Price of bags of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Make either an insight or persuasion check, your choice. Okay. Scattering around, there are quite a few of these stands that are selling bags of holding. They're not the most uncommon thing in the universe. They're just usually hard to find because someone usually picks it up somewhere. And there is one stand in particular that seems to have not a surplus, but actually multiple bags of holding, which is very nice to hold. No pun intended. God damn it. As apparently they are offering them for on the cheap. They're offering them at 400 gold pieces when normally people would be offering them at 500. And they don't seem to be bullshitting you. They seem to be earnestly trying to offer these at a lower price. And you get the idea that as you're kind of like looking in that direction, you see this a younger halfling woman just like standing on a little bar stool trying to like announce herself to the people. You get the idea that this is a new vendor. This is one that has not built up a reputation and she wants like people to come in for her cheap prices. But no
Okay.
one seems to have a rep with her, so she's not getting any customers really.
I'll go up to her and ask for a demonstration.
Ah, yes, perfectly fine. You see her just hop off of the little bar stool and she runs up to the wall and she grabs one of the 4 bags of holding she has at the moment. And she immediately like pulls out a bag of ball bearings. And you watch her, she kind of just watch and you'll see. And she just drops it in and just turns it upside down and says, see, nothing falls out. Perfectly fine. And if you reach
Is
in
she
and she
holding the
pulls,
bottom of the bag when she holds it upside down?
yes. Yeah, she's holding it like that, kind of like one hand on one side, one hand on the
I'll
bottom.
ask her if she would hold it by the sides.
Oh, absolutely, no problem. And you watch her kind of like rearrange her handing a little bit to kind of like hold it on the sides, because like, and she shakes it real nice and hard. Says, "See, quality, and it works." And to prove it, she reaches under it as she's like holding it upside down, and she pulls out the ball bearings perfectly fine. It's like, "See, told you." And with
Very
that
good.
wonderful example, it's on the cheap for 400 gold pieces. Simple and easy. Best offer you'll find anywhere near Bill.
What? How many sizes of these things do you have?
Personally speaking, I'm so glad that you asked. And you watch her kind of like go back. She puts it back on the shelf, and you see she pulls out what looks like to be a purse of some kind. And she kind of pulls it off, and she kind of reaches her hand in, and you watch her like sink most of her hand inside to begin with. She says, "I've got a smaller size, 150 gold pieces. It only holds 200 pounds, but that is still a very, very enjoyable price compared to what you would normally find in anywhere else."
Hmm.
So Corvus, you be following along with Dalmar, or would you be looking for your own?
I probably would follow with Dalmar if he stuck around while I was doing
Okay.
the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then mentally, I'm conscious like, okay, I'm done here.
I'll go up to her. The other
Yes,
one.
another fine gentleman.
The other one you had. The one that you put the ball bearing into.
Yes,
How much can that hold?
that one can hold up to 500 pounds worth of weight, and it's quite sizable inside. I would not recommend going in there. It's not a living space. You cannot breathe, but it is very good to store some large objects, as long as you get it past the mouth.
Theoretically, we could store a person in there as long as they held their breath.
As long as they can hold their breath and they don't suffer the crushing disaster that is the astral plane. Yes.
Interesting. How much for one of these?
That one will run you at 400 gold pieces. Nice and simple, a good discount compared to anything you'll find the rest of the bill.
It is. I am bring just a little short, would you be willing to do 350?
Make persuasion check.
I see you're not getting a whole lot of business over here.
You do see kind of a troubled look to her, kind of like in terms of like, do I do it? Do I lose the extra profit? It's kind of like, how about this? I could use the reputation. I'll do it for 350 if you spread my name and you allow me to put my logo on it. It's this new thing that I'm trying, this marketing value thing. I'm still thinking of the name.
How about I spread your name but no logos? I do not like to be affiliated with too many people I don't know, if you catch my drift. And I just kind of
My
like
name
look
is
around the
Valara,
area.
if you want to know.
What was it? Out again?
Valara.
Valara. If anyone should ask where I got this bag, I will make sure I will tell them Valara. I'll tell them where. But no logos. No
Make another
capes!
persuasion check.
Oh.
You see another internal struggle, kind of a like, do I trust him? Do I not? Like, that's a struggle. But you also see like the struggle in her. It's like, I should make a sale. Like, if I get that reputation, if he keeps his word. How's about I put just a V on it? Is that okay?
No logos, please.
Come on, man.
There, you see that internal like
Throw her a bone.
hopelessness inside her, but at the same time, you see her kind of like give up. Like, as long as you keep your word, I am willing to drop it to 350.
Very well, and I will.
You kind of see the bit of pain that comes from her as she like hands over the bag of holding for the 350 gold pieces.
Alright. And the moment I get it, I hand her the gold, put it on. You know, I'm gonna hide it underneath all my robes and stuff like that, and
You couldn't even like put the
Very
logo
well.
on it if you were gonna do that.
just kind of look. I'm gonna look at it for a bit before I put it in my robes, and test it out myself. Works,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Then I'm gonna shout as loud as I
Mentally
can.
over comms before you do that. Make sure it's actually empty first. I've seen people get in trouble from things that are in there. Just saying.
Okay. Well, how do you check to see if they're empty?
Just dump it out.
I would say, are you asking Delmar? Or
I'm asking Dolmar.
My experience has been the word empty will dump its contents. Try it with, I don't know, a hammer or a copper piece or something.
I'm confused. Would my character know how to empty one of these things?
I would say no, just
Yeah.
because his experience with the bag of holding has not been vast.
I'll look to the woman, Valara. If I wanted to quickly empty one of these things, how would
I believe he can choose on who to speak to. I don't think it has to be like a walkie-talkie one-way call.
Yeah.
I believe it's you choose people to speak to.
Yeah.
Sorry, just trying not to break up the scene, but I was just wondering
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Let me go check this.
And I don't think there was anything saying that I couldn't use. So the party comms is my class ability, and the one-on-one is my racial ability.
Oh,
So,
okay. I thought they
Yeah.
were both.
and
the
I
same
didn't
thing.
see anything anywhere that said like only one mental link can happen at the same
Yes.
time, so I could easily just open both.
My bad. I just assumed that it was
Yeah.
just your class ability.
Yeah. To send or receive a message, you and the other creature, so singular. So you can do it to one other person if you want to.
Yes. Valara, how would you quickly empty the contents out from one of these bags?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you really, really, really need to empty it, uh, without destroying it, please
Yes.
don't destroy it.
Yes, without destroying it.
A lots of hard work to get it. If you turn it inside out and promptly move your hand away before everything juts out of it like a geyser, you can very easily take out all the components that are within.
May I borrow one of those ball bearings?
Oh, of course. And she pulls out the pouch. She pulls out just a single ball bearing.
Okay, yeah.
Hands it over.
Take it. I'll put it inside. I'm like, okay. Interesting. And I'm gonna, turn it inside out.
Yeah. She kind of expected it as
Yeah.
well as you turn it inside out and you just hear the little faint thud of the one ball bearing
Okay.
falling onto the semi-gravel dirt floor on the ground.
Okay. And then I'll pick it up and I will hand it back to her and say, perfect. And then I will yell out as loud as I can. Everyone, come one, come all, to Valar's amazing shop where she sells bags of holding for the low, low price of 450 gold.
Make a just straight charisma check.
Nope. Fuck!
Yep.
Oh.
You get the
You
prospect.
get attention, but not the kind you want.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot of eyes coming your direction, and you see a blush go over her halfling cheeks as you kind of just see her, and you see most of the eyes kind of like revert back and just keep going, and she kind of still looks at you with that faint blush in her cheek, kind of like, thank you for trying, but I more so meant on the outside, where people aren't used to ignoring me.
Yes, but at least right now, people had to pay attention to you for just a moment. So keep that in mind. But I will spread your name outside also.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Really appreciate it. And she gets back on her little bar stool and goes back to like shouting just like you did.
No. God, that would have been so fucking good if I could
That would
have.
have been like the perfect nat 20 moment.
I know. My one good deed.
I like how it turned out.
I wanted it to add like verified real bags, but like with my charisma check, I'm like, no, I just
Dude,
went for this.
you would have gave me advantage.
Could've.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
Could've.
should have.
Yep.
just out of my own
Totally
morbid
should've.
curiosity. It wouldn't have helped.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
But
after that,
regardless, unless
I'm
you
done.
two have anything else you want to look at.
nope, I'm good.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yep. Meanwhile, back at the Highwood District, where there is a bridge between the Right Arch and the Highwood, as Volmer and Iskandarum you two would discover very easily. And almost in a singular instant, you can feel the atmosphere is leagues different from where you just came from, as not only are the buildings far nicer, but the people also dress nicer. This place is mostly dominated by the human and elven inhabitants that wear rather fine commoner's clothes or just fine clothes in general, as if they are the businessmen of the world.
Volmer.
And immediately you two stand out. Volmer not as much as with Scandaroon, but even with Volmer, you're kind of like dirtied clothes a little bit. Kind of remind yourself kind of like probably should prestidigitate all that grime away.
Gonna do a quick clean with prestidigitation.
Literally, as like you like realize like, oh shit, this is the finer district. Pop.
Yeah, Iskandaroon doesn't do that. Instead, he will turn to Volmer and say, I'm sick of talking. Like tap your shoulder, and you find yourself filled with all of the splendor and personability of the noble eagle.
Alright, so you have advantage on charisma checks. I don't know why it says temp HP. It's not temp HP.
Because there's one temp HP subspell of it.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, so it just rolls for that every time.
Okay. With Volmer, for the next hour, as long as the Scandaroon keeps concentration, you could be a dick and drop it otherwise. You have advantage on charisma checks. If
Oh,
you
fuck
want to
yeah,
try
okay.
to ask around for a ranch for horse and stable.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask around, take advantage of the charisma advantage.
Okay.
And I'll say over mental comms.
Didn't even need it. What are you saying?
I'll
About
just
comms?
like indicate over comms that we're about to get to the actual nitty gritty of getting a horse and carriage together.
Okay. And as you're going around Volmer, and there's almost immediate recognition with you cleaning up your robes and such, and you don't have your armor on, so you very much look like just a normal scholar now, more than anything. And being elven in nature, there are several other elves that also join in conversating with you. And as you ask around for a horse stables, and even as they kind of look at his scander rune, it's almost like there's immediate recognition where they're like, "Oh, that's your guard. Like that's just some lowly commoner for you." So it's like, "Oh yeah. So if you want to go and find yourself some horse and stables, you can head over towards the north end, literally just right across from Clearbridge. There should be a couple of stables, and there's even some craftsmen working on wagons over there."
Thank you very much, my friends. I hope you have a nice day.
As you get that exact location, you can easily make your way over there towards where you will find that there is a very fine built stable with a, I wouldn't say vast ranch where they have room because the fenced in area is not that big, but it is still looking like all the horses are well groomed, well kept, and very well trained. Some of them are labeled, though, that show that they are not of the ranch itself, but instead are labeled with names of other adventurers that clearly have either left their horses here for the time being or are simply already claimed them and just haven't come to pick them up.
At this point, I'll say to Volmer, remember, the horse is the important part. The wagon, not so much.
Well, buying a horse for everyone would be a lot more expensive than buying a horse and a wagon, so I'd assume they're both pretty important.
What I mean is the quality of the horse is the
okay.
most important thing in terms of getting us to where we need to go.
I was about to say, like, what do you mean? Like, we aren't gonna.
Basically, he's saying that whether
I
we
get what you're
end
saying
up with
now,
a
I just
cart,
need to-
wagon, or whatever, it doesn't matter as much as having the riding horse. Because all of them like can comfortably fit all of us. It's just like a difference in like, storage capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I'm
And-
gonna look for stable master.
As you walk up, and you do see that there are several stable hands. I would say they'd be around this area at this point when you guys start finishing up your shopping. So it's in the middle of this transaction is when this will happen. So as you guys walk up towards the stable hand, and you ask around, it's like you're in the looking for a horse. You see one man get pointed out, and it seems like this gruff dwarf, funnily enough, as you see him handling a horse that's literally 3 times his size. And as he kind of walks over to you with a little limp to his step, kind of goes, "Oh, well, how can I do for you? Looking in for a horse, or what you looking for? Riding? You looking for wagon pulling? You looking for the racing variety? What you
We're
want,
looking
fighter?
for a horse that can pull a wagon, my friend. If you have any in stock.
A wagon puller. You want one that's easily scared, or one that's actually gonna stick you through and through with the devils?
One that's gonna stick us through and through is preferred. We need
A
something
perfect
like that.
example for it, right over there. And he points towards a black stallion with purple spots just kind of like scattered about it. He says, that one's special. You see those spots on her? Makes her unique. She'll face down
Yes.
a dragon for you. She'll keep pulling. You want her? 150. I guarantee you, she ain't gonna go anywhere. Not without you on her back.
First things first, try to roll insight.
Give me insight check.
There we go. The horse is just painted.
Yeah, that's what my brain goes. Like,
I just kind of look at him. There is a boisterous attitude to this guy, and he's got like that heft in his voice that's like he knows what he's talking about.
Check the teeth.
I don't think we can afford this in a carriage. I'm sorry,
I'll
my
say
friend.
I'll say over the line. We can't afford this.
Yeah. I'm gonna
How
turn to
short
the
are
dwarf.
you?
My apologies.
I can chip in
How short?
some. Because if you're talking over the link, I can hear it too.
Yeah. If you want to talk over link, you can. You still got time.
Yeah,
You still got
I-
an hour and a half.
I'd assume that at this point, in terms of, I don't think we've shown our cards yet. We're just kind of like looking over it and discussing.
I'll chip in 30 gold, if that helps.
That still leaves us short about 37. And that's without buying a carriage. This horse is nice, but we just can't afford it.
Fair enough.
Well, if you just want one that'll pull your carriage on you.
Excuse me, sir. We were talking telepathically.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry for interrupting in your telepathic reunion. I just thought you'd appreciate the conversation.
Oh my god.
That was freaking gold.
That was good. That was good.
You found his secret. He can read your mind.
Wow, I can't believe he's a meme.
I mean, that would be the best thing to have as a merchant.
Right?
I still love the. Excuse me, sir. Oh my god, that was good.
Gold.
So,
I'm gonna turn to the dwarf. I'm sure this horse is nice, but it's a little bit out of our price range. Do you have something that's still brave, more brave than the average horse, but is a bit cheaper?
well, if you're looking for something that'll at least try and rescue you, but it'll leave you for dead if it faces anything truly dangerous. Got another one in the corner over there, and he points towards a brown horse with the occasional little marked stripe of black. You're loyal, but spook him with anything bigger than him, and he's not gonna last all that long if you catch him drift. But he's still a good horse. He'll last you a real long time as long as you take care of him. 100 gold for him.
Hey, can I like gauge this horse and see if it's like comparable to mine, basically?
Make a nature insight check, your choice.
I'll make a nature.
The best that you can tell, and you've been with your horse for a good long time, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to compare a horse to a horse, especially not without seeing them work first and foremost. But at least to the best of your knowledge, they're relatively on par with each other. They're pretty good at hauling things as well as going solo if they really wanted to.
All right, I'll indicate to Volmer. I'll say telepathically. This one's fine.
With our money pulled together, we can get this in probably a cart. So. We'll take it, sir. I'm gonna pull out. But we don't have all the money on us. You see, we have a friend who is approaching soon, so is it fine if we wait here a bit to go find a carriage while we're waiting for him and then come back and pay for it?
No problem there. Just give me your name. I'll mark it for you, and you can come back whenever. Within a
name is-
month or so. If you don't come back within a month or so, I'm assuming you're dead.
We'll be back in a few hours. My name's Volmir Everfall.
Volmir Everfall, and you immediately see him kind of like whistle over to one of his men and says, "Hey, mark up the brown striping one for Volmir Everfall." And you watch as the man kind of like goes and he writes really quickly scripture on a board of some kind, and he goes and like puts it, wraps around the neck of the horse.
Well, fuck
So.
you too, Correus.
So getting the horse now registered, and you have the 100 gold pieces to pay later, if you so wish. Where are you off to next?
Well, you said there would be maybe someone who builds carriages around here, right?
Yes.
Guess that would be our next go-to.
And very easily, as the elven man pointed out to you with a natural 20, It's only a couple of blocks down where you do see a very large sign and several carriages out in the front of different elegance and design that very shows that this is some high-end level shit. There are wagons, there are carriages, there are just simple carts, and there are even those little side passenger cart things you see like on the back of a bike for a baby. That kind of idea.
Is there anything that sell for less than 23 gold?
Make a perception or insight check, your choice.
I'll indicate to him. We don't need anything big. We can all carry our gear ourselves.
Ooh.
Okay. How much you said? 20 gold?
23 is how much we have, and I'm counting the freaking...
We have 33 on us. If for carts, if that's between me and you.
Oh, wait, how much do you have? Full
He has
rate?
10.
I have 10 gold.
I have 83, so that's 83 plus
You got
10
93
plus
right now.
the 30 that...
So you got 123. So yeah, 23.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe that baby carriage one might cost beneath 20 gold pieces, but this shit is like designer level crap. This is not something you're probably just gonna walk in and go, here's some 20 gold pieces, I want a wagon.
Okay, let's go to a
This
different
seems
stall.
too rich for our blood. Spend somewhere
Yes,
else.
maybe another day. And then ask around for a place that we aren't too broke for.
Go ahead and make a charisma check. And I would say it is on the tail end of that hour for your enhanced ability, so go ahead and make it an advantage. Okay. There are a couple eyes, kind of confused faces, kind of like, well, you look like you have money. I mean, you have your own guard, you have some fancy robes, like you should have money, but if you're really looking for somewhere where you might be able to find some cheaper end stuff, Cab Market's the place to go, but wagons aren't much of a thing there. Maybe if you hit up the Rain Wharf, you might find something on the cheap. If you're lucky.
Okay, so let's wait for Dalmar and Corvée so we can pay for the other horse, and then we can go get the carriage.
All right. So, are you telling Dalmor and Corvais to convene in the location for the horse, or what are you doing?
Yeah, like meet us here so we can get the horse, and then we can go get a carriage.
Okay. Dalmor and Corvais, you head towards their direction.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys
Yep.
as well, crossing that river, that environment shift is drastic beyond belief, and you've got eyes on you two, like, what the fuck are those commoners doing here? Like, what the hell are they wearing? Sort of idea.
What the fuck is the peasant trash?
To be fair, anyone anywhere should be saying that.
Yeah, kinda.
What the fuck are you doing here, peasant trash?
But as you guys
What the
meet
fuck
up,
are you doing here,
at the-
assassin cosplayers?
as you guys meet up at the horse stables, where you do see the same idea as Bulmer and Scanderud saw, that rather sizable stable with several horses in line, and meeting up with them, waiting up front. We do also see that Volmer has gussied up himself a little bit and is not currently wearing his armor.
Okay. Looking snazzy there, Volmer.
Many thanks.
So, what seems to be the issue here? What are we looking at?
Well, right now we have a horse set up, but we still need to find the carriage. Alma, you offered 30 gold to help towards the horse price, right?
Yes.
I'm going to need 17 of that to make the deal fall through. To make the deal work.
You know what? I'm just gonna hand you the 30 gold, and you can deal with it.
Oh, okay, that works too.
100 gold for a horse. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes, it's high quality. Things are more expensive. than
That
originally
seems
planned.
way overpriced.
Well, it's a relatively good horse.
This area, like, what's it look like? Is it fairly enclosed off, or is it like outskirts of the city to an open field?
There is a bit of both, where it's like it has its own section which is meant for this little ranch, but at the same time it goes outwards towards the edge of the city itself, where it kind of technically goes past its border. But it seems very much like they made this little section for this little ranch.
Okay. How much is the cart going to cost us?
We don't know yet. We checked around here. It's definitely... We do not need to buy a cart from around here. They're way too expensive. Our plan was to wait here, get the horse, and then head to the cat market, looking for carriage.
We just came from the cat market. Probably won't find carriages up there. Like, in our travel, walking through there, we didn't see any place selling carts, did we?
Give me perception checks, both of you.
Shit, fucking Dalmar.
Dalmar, you're rolling pretty well today. Really.
Yeah.
He's in his element, man.
He is. You're not
That's
wrong.
a first.
I know, right?
As you guys were making your way through like the little alleyways, kind of cutting through, and you went through several more areas than most. It wasn't so much that you saw that there are people selling carts as a shop, as much as you just occasionally saw that there are carts on the cheap just because they no longer had need of them, or maybe it's because they got replaced and they were still in some decent quality, or at least quality worth selling.
Oh, okay.
So I did notice in the cat market there were some used carts being sold. Some were a little damaged, others had upgraded. None of them were like from a shop that made them, but worth tracking down.
Sounds like a plan then.
I'll say this mentally. And you know, if we are running a little bit low on funds, we could always, you know, liberate a horse from their captors.
Corvus, I swear to God, I'm not a rogue.
Yes, but you do so well.
You would be quite the protege.
Yes.
So,
But I mean,
He's gonna glare at them.
so
there's always an option.
paying for the horse.
Yep, I'm gonna go back to my dwarf buddy.
All right. And as you go back to the man, at this point you see him actually kind of working on the horse in question. You see him actually outfitting him with brand new horseshoes, and you see him just kind of like hammering away right into them. These brand spanking new, freshly crafted iron horseshoes. As you see him, he sees you walking up. You hear one of the men kind of call out for him, and you see him immediately kind of like, hey, that was pretty quick. Didn't even give me time to finish her up for leaving.
My apologies, sir. If you'd like, we can give you some more time after paying, and we can go get
I only need about 10 more minutes or so. As long as you got the payment, that is.
I'm gonna hold out the pouch with my currency and pull out 100 gold.
You see him kind of nod to one of the other men who takes the gold and gives you a makeshift receipt of some kind, just like a piece of paper that says that they signed off on the sale of a horse.
And that's my backpack. That feels
It's
important.
a deed to a horse, if you want to say it that way.
Deed to a horse.
And after the agreement has been struck, and you see him kind of make sure that the horseshoes are nicely planted and carved and very well applied, he takes the sign off of him, gives it a pat, and says, "You be good now, then. Don't piss them off too much. Keep them safe. Return customers are always the best ones." You see the horse just, as he just hands you the reins, goes, "You take care of her. She'll take care of you."
We'll take good care of it. I hope you have a nice day, sir.
Unless a rock shows up. Mentally.
If that rock shows up, we're killing it.
So, you guys going to search for those used carts
That's how
on
the
sale?
Lana fell.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and make an investigation check. Whoever wants to attempt to look for these used carts for sale.
I'm assuming everyone wants to look, considering it's kind of the whole
I would
year.
hope so. I don't know. All right. So as you guys are looking
Wow.
around, everyone does spot the occasional one, and it's sparse. The options aren't exactly all that wide. But Scandaroon, you're the first one that really like spots one that seems to be of a decent quality. It seems like it's been outfitted a little bit to support a little bit of extra weight to it. Whatever they were using it for was for heavier business, which required them to outfit the cart to carry more weight to it. So it should at least last the longest out of all the ones that you've seen so far.
Man,
Is there a way to check the price?
is there anyone around it?
It is sitting in front of a small little market where a man is kind of just like offering up his goods. And you do see that right behind him, he has a newer cart that holds all of his equipment in the time being. And as you kind of walk up and you take a look at the cart, it goes like, "Oh, hey, you're looking to take the cart then off my hands?"
Go call. This man wishes to speak to you about this cart, and then I'm gonna push Volmer forward.
Okay.
Maybe
Hello, good
inquire
sir. Me and my-
mentally. Maybe inquire about spare parts if they exist.
Hello, good sir. We would like to inquire about the price of this cart, along with if you would know where to get any spare parts for it.
Well, I'm not one for the spare parts. I just send it off to my wagon repairman. Unfortunately, it's too rich for my blood up in the high woods, so it just seemed better to get a new one. I'm willing to let it go for 30 gold pieces, though. Done some good work with it, little buddy. But I'll tell you this, it'll pick all you up. Heck, I'm willing to bet you can put a horse on it and it'll survive.
Comfort keeps saying the price outside of like what we have. Okay, but okay, I'm gonna try to haggle this down. I'm sure you could go for less than that. How does, since you have a new cart already, so you clearly don't need it to get a replacement. 15.
I got a new cart using what money? I make a little over the back, buddy.
You aren't even gonna let me roll
How much are we
persuasion?
No,
short?
that was
Okay.
too low for him. That was too low
Mentally,
for him.
how much are we short?
Of the 30, in my pockets, I'm short. Let me do the math. Because small numbers are harder to subtract than big numbers. 17.
17. I can chip in the extra 15.
I'll live with the guy. How about 20 gold?
That's what I was about to do, but okay.
Corvée said it, so Corvée is making a persuasion check.
Can I give him a? Can I like support him?
Yeah, give him advantage since we're both
Yeah, you
talking.
can support him. Yeah.
Okay. Just he's in that mood.
I'm imagining Volmer is just like getting the gold from Dalmar, kind
Fuck.
of like this, like we're showing we have the gold. I was kind of just seeing he kind of goes, takes things like, "Listen, you're clearly good people. I'm not gonna say you're not. I just it ain't cheap to get these kind of upgrades, you know."
Bulmer, add 15 gold to your sheet. Delmar just handed you 15.
How much are you short then?
That's actually enough to just buy it full price, so I'm probably gonna do that. After
Mental link to Volmer. Try for 25. Do it.
Actually, we are still too short, but how about 25?
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. Yeah, this point you're just trying to haggle this dude, and he's like,
Even
I
if
just like-
someone helps.
If he, as he says,
By helping him?
as he says, how about 25? I just look at him like, come on.
if Corvée is helping, it's a straight roll.
Fuck yeah, I am.
You see him kind of just like, if you got it on hand, I'll take the 25.
Thank God, because I'm 2 gold short. I'm gonna hand him the 25.
He takes the 25 and he just like gestures over to the car and says, "Yours. I recommend you get some horses to pull for it. You only got one on you right now. I want to get the second one."
Yes, we probably should have grabbed a second horse before we went to grab a cart.
Yeah.
I'll go.
At a game, didn't Iskenderun have his horse with him on our way to Bill?
I thought he. No, I think he left it hitched at the inn in the White Arch.
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, okay.
Iskender, while we hitch this one up, can you go back and get your horse?
Yes. And then I do so.
And then
So,
go to hitch.
You guys
What horse?
hitch up the horse.
What's the new horse look like?
The new horse is brown with the occasional black stripe to it.
That's a good name for that.
While you're thinking
God,
on that,
just gonna name it.
as you guys hitch the horses up and you make your way back towards the White Arch to meet with the Scandaroon and connect his horse as well to the hitch. Taking your time to prepare yourselves and kind of like having a little bit of a relaxing feeling inside you, kind of like, all right, we got ourselves our horses. Let's not go back the way through the rock and let's go to the south. So, does anyone have anything else they want to do in Bill for the time being before heading south?
No?
I think we're good.
So as you guys begin to depart, as your psychic link begins
Whoa.
to fall, you start to make your way out. Who is actually driving the cart?
I
feel-
am, because I know how to do
I'm,
it.
I'm
Yep.
assuming Fulbright.
I felt like I knew the answer, but I just felt like asking it. So no checks need to be made for the travel, thank God. As you begin to make your way down the main road, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right. And the travel is leisurely and short. It is a 2-day travel if you casually go, but if you want to push the horses, you might be able to cut it down to a day and a half, maybe even a day if you really push them.
2 days isn't bad.
During that time, I'm gonna be experimenting with that weapon, turning it into
Okay.
different things. And one of the things I want to check is if can I make it a bow?
You can make it a bow.
Does
So,
it create the arrow?
as you guys are watching this, during the journey down, you watch as Corveus holds the stone in his hand, and you watch it form into that dagger-esque shape. As the first time Iskandarin, you're seeing this, and while he's experimenting, there's a moment where you see him kind of just like focus and concentrate on it, and you watch as it molds once again in his hand before it elongates into a bow. Short bow?
Yeah, short bow.
A short bow in his grasp.
Does it create the arrow?
It does not create the arrow, unfortunately.
Damn, that would have been nice.
As Corvus is kind of like looking forward on the road, he's kind of turned his head back after seeing this in the last. Corvus, what is that thing?
Oh, just something we found down in that lab or whatever the hell it was.
No, Corvus, that's probably the perfect weapon for you, considering it's easy to smuggle.
Really is, and it, transforms to whatever I might need, and then I'll have it transform into brass knuckles. This seems fitting.
I once saw a weapon like that. It wiped out my entire squad.
Weapon like this.
A weapon of shadow.
Well, this isn't shadow, this is a rock. And I'll have it go back to its innate form.
Yeah. As you focus on it, he just opens his palm after he closed it for a moment. It's just a chunk of iron-esque coal of some kind.
Can I roll to see if I would know what a weapon of shadow is?
Make a history check with disadvantage, because this is something either super vague or super hard to know. Still, that's a pretty decent roll for disadvantage. It's hard to tell. A weapon of shadow can mean a variety of things, between something that's magically been imbued for shadows, something that comes from the shadow fells, something that's... It could be Shadow Blade, for all you know. It's too vague a description.
Okay. Can you describe this shadow weapon to me, please? It sounds intriguing.
if I had to make a guess, based off of what I've seen so far, I'd speculate that it is the same Blade of Shadow that was depicted in that room with the graves back in the ruin.
There were many weapons depicted down there.
It was a blade.
This
I'm
is
gonna-
bow.
I'm gonna pull my scabbard off of my back, my empty scabbard,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna show it to him. I'm gonna ask, would the shape of this shadow blade happen to match the shape of this scabbard?
Make an intelligence check from your scanner room. Yes. Nothing's gonna happen on this journey, so if you want to take a long rest, go and take your long rest. As you're looking at it in the scanner room, there's a similarity there, but at the same time, you remember that blade that was used against Junior Squad. It had a faint curve to the end of it, and this scabbard is just straight edged. So unfortunately, while the size is kind of a comparative, they do not match.
Wait, I thought you said the blade with the scabbard was curved when I tried to put Dalmar's rapier into it.
Yeah, I thought that was it too.
I thought it was
No.
like a scimitar.
It's more for a long sword. So a rapier doesn't go into a long sword seize.
Okay. I was confused for a second.
Because a rapier is a long needle. A long sword is a thick boy.
Your explanation before was that it was curved for some reason.
My bad, sorry.
I would say, no, the blade was curved as a scimitar or a falchion would be.
How long ago did this happen?
Must be.
Roughly 7 months ago.
Are you saying?
Roughly 7 months ago. Yeah.
Wait, so that doesn't make sense. So you're saying that this event happened 7 months ago?
Well, you've taken a long time to study.
No,
And it
but-
wasn't until now that you even have a lead at all.
No, but what I mean is, it probably would take longer than 7 months to get to the point I'm at. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you were partially a soldier, so I imagine you kind of went out around the city and kind of did a little bit of business as well. You did practical practice as well as just studying practice. That's what I imagined.
Okay, I imagine that this would be like a few years afterwards.
If you want to just do like just standard practice, like through studying, yes.
All right. Okay.
Either way,
I get it. That fits.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually should probably get going now, just because, yeah.
Unless any other like conversation points are going on, we're ending. Yeah, we're not making it to the city yet. We're starting next week at the city. So yeah.
Works. That
So
works.
unless you guys have any other conversation to have.
I like that my name spans the entirety of the Grand Duchy.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
literally. So, if you have any other ideas as well,
I
obviously
should
with
have
the
stabbed the
Discord.
Dragonborn.
You also have the Discord here, so if you have any conversations to have, you have 2 effing days worth of travel to talk about whatever it is you want. And we will be coming back next week to Bulunzar.
Nice.
Right.
Awesome.
I like it.
The shopping episode has been reached.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one to make a meme about.
Yeah. No, there's a meme in there.
There's
Yeah.
a few
More
memes
gets
I
more
might be able to
grumpy.
make in there. I'm
There's
not
a big
making a
meme in
Volmir
there.
Rogue meme. Fuck you.
There's Volmir's a rogue meme. There's absolutely the Volmir's a rogue meme.
Anyway, I'm gonna get going.
There's
See you
also
guys.
See ya, man.
the dwarf accidentally reading into your conversation.
See you guys.
But yeah.
See ya.
So yeah.
All right. So
I mean, Volmar even had the paranoid thinking of a rogue to check, see if he's getting pickpocketed. Just saying.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Well, I really hope that as a joke, his level 20 is just gonna be the multi-class into just a fucking rogue. Just that one level.
I hope so.
And he looks at Dalmar, just that one moment just goes like, hey Dalmar, I can stab you really good if I want to. And he just gives you a wink.
See, I want the last 2 levels so he can bonus action hide.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be better.
That'd be so
That's
nice.
probably better than the features that Wizard gets at that level anyway.
You're kind of not wrong, because I think 19 is just spells and ASI, and I think
You
20
get,
is just
you
you
get
get a
some bullshit,
third level
like,
spell
you can
infinitely.
cast
I
a
think.
third level spell once, which is like.
I don't think it's once. I think it's infinite.
No, I think that you can get like a level 1 spell infinite.
Level 1 and level 2. But I think the level 20 ability is a level 3 infinite.
I think for level 20, what would be cool is if you could cast spells you didn't have prepared.
Yeah, that'd be
That would be
awesome. If that
awesome.
just goes, hey, guess what? Your entire spell book, that's yours. Like,
That
you don't
would
have to
be-
prepare these spells anymore. You just have access to all of them.
You're just like the master of arcane versatility. You can move the weave in any way that you know how. I guess since we kind of jumped away from Banskin spell casting, it's like just the ability to hold every spell in your mind at once, like everything you know.